Hello, everybody, to kind of part two of our tournament here. This is winners finals. So we have got Kindergarten playing against Way to Death. Now we're gotta go ahead and update our text here really quick because we gotta figure out who is on which side. Seems like yes, Kindergarten is okay. So Kindergarten against Way to Death. Two teams that have been around forever. Just absolutely fantastic teams as well. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I think so far, neither team have really run into like a super significant challenge. Kindergarten did just beat Not Yet Dead, which I feel like was at least towards the end fairly convincing. Right, they definitely did very well there. But that is an upset. That is something that I don't think many people here saw coming. Lone Druid banned immediately. Yeah, Lone Druid went nutty towards the end of that last game.
He was slightly dangerous. He'd done some things. There was a slight tickling of heroes with him.
Yeah. Way to Death was also not projected to make it here. So the projected winners finals was actually Not Yet Death versus Alpha Boys. Not Yet Dead versus Alpha Boys. But instead we have Kindergarten versus Way to Dead. So I think Kindergarten versus Not Yet Dead, Kindergarten winning there is definitely the bigger upset. Alpha Boys versus Way to Death is, I would give that a solid 50-50, right? Or like maybe a 51-49. Like both teams can totally take it. Very, very close matchup. But I mean, it's going to be exciting to see who actually moves on to the grand finals here. Now, just a quick reminder, this is a double elimination bracket. The way double elimination works is you aren't out after you lose a single time. Instead, you get knocked into another bracket in the tournament, and there you can continue on playing until you lose another time, and then you're out of the tournament. Now, both of these teams having made it to winners finals means that they will be knocked into losers finals, where they have to then play another team that is currently working its way through the losers bracket, and they have another chance at coming back into the grand finals to then rematch potentially, or well, maybe they get knocked out in the losers finals. Either way, we're gonna see how this goes. We've got Lone Druid being banned out, as well as Bounty Hunter. Two heroes that I think we have seen perform very well today, so I'm not too surprised by that. On the other side, we have the Bane, Wraith King, Shadow Demon, and of course Kunkka. Forgot about that guy, but he's definitely noteworthy as well. Phantom Assassin first pick, Lifestealer in retaliation, as well as the Magnus teams. Not really taking their time with this. They know what they want. They're gonna get it while they can.
Do they want the SF though? The PA already there. There's justification towards the Shadow Fiend appearing again.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. The physical damage output would just be through the roof again. You guys want to see the bracket? Let me go ahead and put the bracket on screen. Just really quick, 1 second. Gonna go ahead and line this up really quick. Here we go. So there is the bracket. You can see we've got Not Yet Dead right here going through MS Paint, which, yeah. And then falling to Kindergarten, they are now currently playing against Something Something Hero Puddle, who beat Exodus in the losers bracket. And we've got Alpha Boys beating Something Something Hero Puddle, then getting locked down, now playing Strategy. And up here we've got Way to Death beating Exodus, then Alpha Boys now playing against Kindergarten, and Kindergarten beating Strategy, Not Yet Dead, and now playing Way to Death. And yeah, so whichever team loses here needs to play against the winner of a match of these. So these two, right, Alpha Boys and Strategy are going to play. The winner of that moves on to losers semis. Not Yet Dead and Something Something Hero Puddle will play. Winner of that moves on to losers semis. Then these two teams will play. And then the winner of that plays against the winner of Kindergarten and Way to Death. Okay, there we go. That's a losers or double elimination bracket. Summed up really quick. Okay, what did I miss?
Well, not much. We got a Lion coming out.
Oh, that's
which
fun.
should be interesting.
Oh, yeah. I like Lion a lot. I think Lion is great against Lifestealer, too. I know that sounds a bit weird because Lifestealer is, magic immune and all of that stuff. But Lion has an instant disable, and especially with a Blink Dagger. Rage just isn't fast enough very frequently. And that's pretty powerful, right? And if you catch the Lifestealer without Rage on, that boy is just free food.
I mean, you have to actually disable them. You can't try and out DPS him because look at what they got. They've got a Lifestealer. We've seen that crit build in action. We haven't seen it with a Magnus as well. That's an Empower. That's going to be a lot of extra damage.
Yeah, and you get an RP out, you imagine him critting down the entire team. You gotta be very careful there. Very, very careful. But Lion also, has good early game potential. So, something that people actually like to do, which I find kind of funny, is get like E-Blade Dagon on Lion in the early game. And then just not upgrade it, like just get it in the early game. Because early game, it's actually just crazy amounts of damage. Right? You E-Blade Dagon and Finger of Death, and you just kill people. And then once you get to the stage where that doesn't kill people anymore, you just drop it. You just sell it.
Well, it guarantees the stacks as well. That's the crazy part. It's an easy way to get really quick and rapid finger kills. Oh, hello.
Nyx is great.
Good response pick.
Yeah. I think Nyx is gonna be fantastic against the Lion. There's the Shadow Fiend. I love it. Now they can kill the Lifestealer even if the Lion doesn't get the Hex out, because their damage is physical. Rage doesn't do much about that.
Both teams do have a strong element of jump first, though.
Yeah.
You got the Lion for the insta hex, as you said, on the Lifestealer. But now you have a Nyx on the table with that break from Vendetta, which is good against both the Shadow Fiend and the Phantom Assassin.
Yeah, and also, I've got the Magnus. You always got to keep that in mind, right? Like, Magnus is one of those heroes in Dota. There's a few of them, right? There's Magnus, there's Enigma, right? Maybe there were a Tidehunter. Vacuum kind of counts with the Darkseer. There are some heroes where if they get what they are looking for in a fight, it's just over. It doesn't matter how far behind you are. It doesn't matter what's the stage of the game. If they get the play that they want, then you are going to die every single time. And Magnus is just terrifying like that, right? And just having that potential, I think, always goes a long way. Axe coming out, that is interesting. I like that. You're going to deal a lot of damage? Oh, can you take it, though?
It's not just that. See, the other thing you got to look at is you've got a valid point about these big ultimates that can just end the game. But what you'll see a lot of teams do in the Dota esports scene right now is we've moved away from this meta of one big black hole or one big ravage. You stack them, right? You get a Tidehunter and an Enigma, or Magnus and a Brewmaster or a Shaker as well, right? Like, you basically make it so that if you mess up one ability, you don't lose the fight. And that's big here, because now you have the RP as a backup option if the call fails. And then you can still get something, your final pick can still be something big, right? Like, you still go for some big ultimate in these fights, whether it's something like an Ancient Apparition or a Faceless Void.
Yeah, just having like a backup ultimate, is always a good idea. You may be able to dodge one, but try dodging two. Well, we'll see what the response is, though, right? I think actually that a great response to this could be something like a Tidehunter, because while Tidehunter does also have like a big AoE ultimate, I do always kind of look at him as kind of the big AoE counter, right? Like, you can catch everybody, doesn't matter. Tidehunter will just ravage you and then slow you down. Make sure that doesn't go too nutty. Admittedly, Tidehunter isn't necessarily too great against the Lifestealer, which makes it a little bit difficult.
Yeah, you want something that can preferably pierce through magic immunity.
Yeah.
Obviously, Bane off the table already. The Faceless Void is there, and
it has been popular.
I'm not sure about it for the Radiant lineup, though, just because you got a Phantom Assassin.
Yeah.
And you can chrono all these people, but how is she going to attack him?
Well, Shadow Fiend can attack him, and I mean, like, you can kind of assume that probably you don't get the entire team, so she can jump somebody, but it's still difficult. It's still something that makes it a bit tricky. And Grimstroke, let's go! I'm excited.
Okay. That's going to be double fingers, which I believe, if I'm not
it's
mistaken,
double hex.
No, it's not just that. It's the way double finger works late game. So if you got some way of stacking your opponents, I'm pretty sure with
yes, you will.
Axe, you will basically double everyone.
Yeah, double AoE. That's definitely a possibility. Can you get like 2 Finger of Death stacks of everybody if you cast like 2 of them? I don't think that works.
No, so you get a stack for each kill, right? But you're still probably gonna get 5 stacks in that fight, or close to, because it's double finger.
It still feels like they need a frontline. It still feels like they need that Tidehunter or something similar. It doesn't have to be Tidehunter. It just needs to be somebody that can actually run in and just like, be okay with taking some damage and then stunning people. Right? Sven is on the table. Tidehunter, Sand King, right? Dragon Knight. I actually love Dragon Knight here.
I would not mind seeing a Shaker as well.
Shaker's a great idea. Yeah, Shaker's amazing. All right,
Because you got that insta stun to stop a rage completely. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I think Shaker would actually be a great idea. Shaker's also fantastic because he's one of the few heroes that will be able to consistently get away from the lifestealer. Right, lifestealer slows him, just jump out. Nothing. Oh, let's go! All right, that's a custom hero. That's Chatterjee. Remember the team Chatterjee strategy?
Yeah, I remember.
That's what that name is. That's Chatterjee. Did you ever play Heroes of New Earth?
No.
No.
Although I think I can recall some of the abilities for this strategy. Like there's one that involves kind of creating a shield that does damage, right?
Yeah. Like it is a port of a hero from Heroes of New Earth. I am really excited to see this. I'm also kind of blown away by it, honestly. But cool. Does fulfill the criteria we need. Now we're gonna go through what the hero does, right? I'm gonna explain everything the hero does really quick, just so everybody's filled in, because this is not a hero that exists in regular Dota. So there's currently 2 custom heroes in OAA, right? There's Chatterjee and Sohei. So Chatterjee has some interesting abilities. Well, not actually, not that crazy, but they work really well together. So first one is Static Grip. It works very similar to Shadow Shaman's Shackles, right? So you target an enemy, they're stunned. You are stunned while you channel, right? You can't do anything. You're channeling. You're stunned during the time they take damage. But the difference is that with Static Grip, you pull yourself towards the enemy. Like you slowly but surely pull yourself towards the enemy until you're right on top of them. Then you have Electric Shield. So this is similar to Medusa's Mana Shield. But it isn't a toggle. Instead, it's an active that you actually have to cast. It will use up 20% of your total mana pool. All right, the maximum mana you have, 20% of that, and will turn it into a shield. That shield works pretty much like Medusa's shield, where it absorbs damage, and kind of like based on the mana that you invested into it. But it does also have the difference that it deals damage per second, and a pretty significant amount, especially in early game. This is really something where in the early game, it just gives you a good amount of bonus HP. And then in the late game, it can actually be served as like a serious DPS source. Then energy absorption is just a small nuke around the hero, right? You activate it, boom, deals damage to enemies around you. Burns some of their mana, and you get mana for every enemy you hit, and you also get a little bit of movement speed. And then Cleansing Shock is the ultimate, and to me, this is the hero's most interesting ability. What it does is it purges a target. It doesn't do any damage. It simply applies a purge to an enemy or a purge to an ally, and it also slows enemies with like tapering slow, or it buffs allies with a tapering movement speed buff. And that's it. It just purges stuff and speeds people up or slows them down. It's a very simple ability. It's a very low cooldown. It's just something that you spam to keep your team going. It's a very much a brawling hero. Like she's very strong in the early game. She got pretty fantastic stats. Does a lot of damage. You can see she's got 84 base. And she will just kind of spend most of the early game running over to the other side and punching people. And that's something she's pretty damn good at. So I'm excited to see how this plays out.
Sounds like it should be interesting to watch. Just more or less this, I guess you could call it kind of a spike tank, right? Like you basically peak and then you have to withdraw in these fights. It's not something like a Bristleback, for example, where it's just your health pool and how long that lasts, and you can maybe last a century and a half if you've got enough items.
So this hero is really very much about like kind of intermittent fighting is how I would explain it, or like how I would describe it, where she doesn't really want to like be constantly fighting, but instead she wants to fight, then take a little bit of a break to recharge, and then fight again, and then take a little bit of a break. But she's really good at that. And she will just kind of like keep going. She also has a pretty damn powerful disable. The Static Grip ends up lasting a very, very long time at max level, like over 6 seconds. It is a channel, so you gotta interrupt it. But that is still pretty damn powerful. Also, Electric Shield is just an ability that, especially in the early game, allows you to trade hits, right? You can see that actually the Dire side ended up picking Ogre Magi as the last hero. We haven't talked about that at all. Ogre Magi is great at just trading hits in the early game, right? That's what he does. While Chatterjee is actually happy to do exactly that. And I imagine that's probably why the Ogre Magi came out, because they're like, God damn, we need to be able to trade hits early. We need to be able to fight her because she will want to do that. So let's get the thickest boy that is available, which is Ogre Magi. Ogre Magi is just hella buff, right? He doesn't have a ton of HP, just kind of lots of armor, does a lot of damage. So it's going to be interesting. Like, I'm actually just genuinely very, very excited.
Yeah, there's definitely different playstyles to these two lineups as well. You can see that for the Radiant side, it is really about this kind of initial pickoff to open up the fight. Whereas Dire, well, in conjunction with that Chachi pick, it's more about protracted fights, right? If we can drag it out, we have an advantage because we have big ultimates that we can throw out. You know, you've got your RP, but then you've got your mini RP in the form of a cool. And you can actually just keep playing around that with the sustain that you get from a lifestealer in itself.
It's gonna be a very interesting game. Like, I feel like both teams have some kind of just like, I don't know, the Radiance team is really kind of weird, right? But they have a very interesting playstyle, very interesting strategy around it. While the Dire is much more straightforward, but I think is much more kind of like violent, where they're just saying, we're just gonna beat you up, right? Like, we're just gonna go and do it the good old way. And it's gonna be interesting to see these two styles clash. Anyway, I think this is gonna be the first fight where you immediately see what I mean with Chatterjee brawls well. Like, you can see she just instantly runs up to the high ground and just says, come at me. Like, I'm ready. Picking up that electric shield first and immediately ready to take this fight.
Decent damage being done on all sides. Stun's going to come out, connects on two, line getting pretty low, throws out stun in response. First death is actually going to be the lifestealer. Razor's doing good from Shadowfiend, now getting low himself will fall. Chatterjee's still not dealt with, they just have to try and move away from him. Jason on the line, Axe is going to pursue. He's got Battle Hunger again. In the meantime, Cyberpunk tanking up all this damage, will die in the end. And Lion, the Battle Hunger renewed, he knows he's going to get down his sticks just to last a little bit longer, buy a little bit of time so they can move on to Nico Shimo. But they will manage to get pretty low. They can't quite finish him just yet. Now Ekla can move across. They've got one more Battle Hunger, but there's a snipe through. Nice Stroke of Fate coming out. Does get the kill onto the Nyx, and they'll finish off with the Axe kill. So 3 alive for the side of Radiant, and everyone dead on the side of Dire.
Right, so we've got a little bit of a buffer right now. You can see the timer up there says negative time. That's because, well, I'll quickly explain that. Both teams are not going to be able to leave their base right now. And that's because Dota is really weird with its timer. And we wanted to make sure that the bounty runes always spawn on 0. And this is actually the only way we could do it. Because Dota's timer is like weirdly hard-coded into various things that make it incredibly difficult to modify. So what we did is we just said, all right, we'll just, you know, make our players fit the timer if we can't make the timer fit the game. And so usually the first duel lasts long enough that we don't have to worry about that anyway. But that's just kind of why that's there.
It's Dota has always been a game of you know, flexibility and versatility.
Oh, Supreme.
Creating custom games is no different.
Oh, well, you can see the aggression from the Radiant side. They are just diving in there.
No, it's not just the Radiant. Look at the Dire side. Look how deep they are as well.
Both teams
Both
are just,
sides.
I'll just farm on your side then.
And that's the classic strategy. It's like, oh, you've invaded my jungle, I'll invade yours. It's start a game of Dota.
Yeah, we'll just trade jungles. I'm not attached to mine. I can play in yours.
This is so good as well right at the start, especially against the Shadowfiend, because he wants level 2 quickly because he doesn't have Necromastery. So he's not able to actually like stack his farmer speed as quickly. So if they can actually just slow that down by sap and XP, it's much more value than what I think you get doing the same thing to Dire.
Yeah, this right here is actually like
Ekla.
the early combo. You can see that Axe is now getting chased down by the Chatterjee, but like the static grip into the electric shield. I would actually argue that this hero is at her strongest at level 2. Right? Like in the super early game, when everybody's still like starting to ramp up and get items, at around level 2, level 3, Chatterjee is just the strongest hero on the map. And that's when she kind of like peaks, and from then she kind of like stays static. She'll be more of a background character in the later stages. But right now they are just kind of overwhelming the Dire side a little bit. Honestly, Way to Death is just having a hard time at the moment. Admittedly, so is the Shadowfiend. Shadowfiend is trying hard to find money, but only found 3 creeps so far. 5, actually.
True, but Chatterjee is definitely ironically shown the way to their deaths. The SF can accelerate. Yes, you can have a rough start, but this is the type of hero that's infamous for flash farming.
Yeah, that's his thing, you know, like you shut him down, doesn't matter, he comes back. He's not scared of you. Always bounce back. Oh, nice. Haste rune. Oh, very convenient.
This is how runes work. This is practically standard Dota now. If the rune's always convenient, that's how it works. Nyx, he is not respecting the strategy at all.
No. Well, admittedly, like, they're doing a pretty good job at just kind of like containing her into base. Alright, I think what's going on is that both teams realized that, oh, we went hyper-aggression here, and we didn't leave anybody back to defend, so now our carries can't farm. And that's why you can see that the Grimstroke and the Chatterjee, they're both like fallen back now, and they're actually like defending a little bit more. That's why you have that little brawl with the Nyx. And yeah, honestly, it's a bit more reasonable now. That early game was a bit silly.
You still got Lion being pretty deep at all times.
Oh, Peacemaker.
Trying to actually punch it a little bit, but he's really screwing over Supreme's farm.
Yeah, Supreme is kind of struggling a little bit, honestly. And that's surprising to see, especially with his performance in the last game.
I mean, this is the thing as well. People are like, what are you talking about? He's not struggling. He's top of net worth for his teams. Like, yes, but the thing is, he's got an empowering magnet.
Yeah.
He should feel like, he probably will feel like he should be further ahead right now. But this Lion has just been there whenever he's been trying to get camps.
You can see that the Chatterjee is now just chasing down this Axe. And that's really the power of the hero. You know, she's level 3. The Axe is level 5. Axe is running. Axe is like, oh no, I'm not fighting that.
A little bit hard to actually catch the Axe because of that battle hunger.
Yeah, that definitely makes it tricky. Oh, second battle hunger coming out. He's going pretty damn quickly now.
Oh,
but Nukes.
Try and go for kill on the Lion, but instead Nick's going to be jumped on. There's the call coming out. Will allow them to set up the stun with the Impale.
Nice.
And there's the dunk. We'll allow them to move away if they want to, but locked on the spot. Nyx can't actually run just yet. Has got the spike Carapace, going to turn around the stun Chatterjee. Going to keep on chasing. But he won't get a chance. Gets dunked. Head and skull caved in by Eckler here.
That was actually beautiful, like in every way. First of all, they got both those kills, right, which is fantastic. But secondly, they actually timed those kills to steal the bounty rune. And that's what got the Axe to level 6, so he could then use his ultimate to secure the kills. That is just kind of really, really, really clever. I'm gonna go ahead and give them the credit. Gonna go ahead and assume that was intentional. And in fact, the dice had actually picked up all 4 bounty runes right there. And that is really, really important. These bounty runes are a very important objective. They're something that allow you to just kind of make sure that everybody in your team has golden experience. And, oh yeah, by the way, bounty runes give experience in our game. They don't.
You have to wrap your head around that, folks. All bounties.
They don't do that in Dota anymore, but we kept that because that works pretty well for us.
We got rid of that. That was insanity for standard Dota.
Yeah, that was a little bit silly, yeah, that's for sure.
Chad, looking for some fun. Nick's been found. Double stun, in fact. They catch on the Magnus as well. Nico Shino's trying to move through. Spike Carapace buys a little bit of time. They're trying to slow down this capture. Nico Shino turns around with the stun. Slow down a little bit more, but Magnus now will fall fairly quickly. The call doesn't actually connect properly. They go in now. Stun's going to come out on Axe.
They're just throwing themselves at this.
Say, please don't capture. And they will be out here now.
No, the thing is that this disruption did actually slow down the capture point very significantly. The Dire side already has theirs. You know, they're already farming with their boots. That is very important, and I'm sure it's very, very helpful for them. So now they get the capture point in return, but this just kind of is another one of those small plays that will put the Dire side just a tad bit more ahead.
I don't know if I'd say a tad bit. Supreme is concerning, just like last time we saw in the Lifestealer.
Oh man,
his farm rate is insane.
And he's stealing the Ancient. This is actually really big. Like the fact that he's sitting here just taking down this Ancient camp with really no response. I don't even know if they know. Well, they just figured it out towards the end of that, but he's now level 11.
Yeah, I mean, they got one of the creeps, but then they got the big creep, which is the Grimstroke in response.
He's got the Daedalus
down as well. Oh, line. No abilities, they're on cooldown. Bye.
Damn.
This is just turned into a rinse and repeat. The last time we saw Supreme, where he just asserted dominance on everyone, and he's going to head for more. Shadow Fiend doesn't get caught by the stun impale from Nyx, but the skewer through will slow him down. Supreme has the open wounds. They can drag him back. They don't even have to use it. That is okay. That number at this point in the game, that was 2/3 of Shadow Fiend's HP.
Yeah, that's
in one swipe.
It's just looking rough, honestly. Like this boy is already just doing tons and tons of damage. So I think what, like, the best thing to do for the Radiant here is really just trying to avoid him and just see if they can get some farm elsewhere. But the problem is that the lifesteal actually farms so quickly. It's just soaking up all the money on the map, you know? 2 hits and he takes down any creep camp.
Approaching that point where soon he'll have double the net worth of the Phantom Assassin on the other side. And Axe, he's actually getting pretty farmed as well. That's his Blade Mail. For kills on the strategy. He decides against it. He says, no, we don't mess with the boss. We'll just give that one over and prep for the fight.
Yeah, Grimstroke. Gonna be leading the charge here in this duel.
Yeah, but he doesn't have his ultimate. Like, actually, look on the side of Radiant. Look at the comparison of ultimates available.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem. Right, like most of the Radiant isn't even level 6.
There's the Infest Bomb out. They get rid of Grimstroke straight away. And now Shadowfiend next on the hit list. Going to be chased through Supreme. He is proving himself to reign Supreme here. As he just runs through them. Double kill already. He wants more. Looking on the line. Chase cross. RP does come out. Connects on the Phantom Assassin. Locks her in place. They want to give over to Lifestealer. They want to boost his ego. Gonna go in now. Looking for the kill on the Peacemaker. Not doing anywhere near enough damage. And you should make peace with your god buff AM. Because you are going down. Okay. They're just toying with him right now.
They are
like,
stalling.
Hello. What's going on? There's a dunk.
I wonder why they were stalling right there. Radiant side should have all mana boots. It's actually like, okay, I'm a little bit suspicious here because for a little while there was actually a bit of a strategy for stalling duels like that. Because what you would do is you would go for a really, really early boss kill, time it so that you get your boots before the first duel, and then in the first duel, you would just keep the enemy team alive while your entire team has mana boots to just get the passive goal.
Oh god.
And you would just keep them alive and kind of like torture them for like until the timer ran out. Because you're just getting money in the meantime while they are not getting anything. But that's not the case here. Radiant side do also have the boots, so it wouldn't really make any difference.
Just toying with all of this. You know, it's psychological warfare. Sometimes, Army, the game isn't won on the battlefield. It's won in your head.
That's true. That's true. That's for sure.
Especially when your head and all your entrails are splattered across your base. I mean, the PA... I don't know if you caught what happened there before. Lifesteal walked in and freed him in his own base area. This is just... Oh, and he's going to get more. He's found line. 1 and a 2, and see you later.
This is something... I'm not going to go ahead and call this game over yet, right? I feel like there's a very realistic chance that the Radiant can win this, right? They just need to kind of like find a little bit of money, find a little bit of time, and it'll be fine. But if they don't... whoever plays against Supreme next really needs to figure out a way to deal with this lifestealer. Or just ban it, right? But you gotta do something about this. He gets out of hand so quickly. And look at his net worth. He's doubling the next highest, which is also on his team.
And the biggest problem came from the fact that they got the Magnus alongside it. That's where it just got a little bit insane. His farm rate out of the gate was just rampantly better than anyone else's in the game. And he just found a fucking kill on Chaji. Like, this is... Wherever he goes, you do not right now. And it's not going to slow down. He's going for the second day list, just like last time.
Well, there are a lot of items coming up on the Radiant, right? And I think that's really going to be important here. Like, the biggest kind of, like, early power spike you have is just kind of getting generally 6 slotted. Or, like, nearing that completion of the basic Dota items available, right, in normal Dota. So, the Radiant side doesn't really have too many there, doesn't have too many of those yet, but they're working on it, and they're getting there. And I think once they actually have all of that, that will make a big, big difference. Also, Phantom Assassin is actually starting to be pretty powerful. Like, she's got herself Monkey King Bar, Desolator, picking up a Daedalus. Just, I don't know, just wants some more crits, I guess.
But you are full glass on cannon, is the problem. That's the only worrying thing is this Nyx. He'll just Vendera you, and you die. You need to be protected at all times. And
yeah. I don't really
the
like...
team is not... Shadowfiend? Well, he tried the I'll play in your jungle strategy, and it didn't work.
Yeah, really. I think the... So the Phantom Assassin going full glass cannon is something that worries me just a tad. Because full glass cannon against a hero that already two-shots you is gonna just kind of potentially be a little problematic. This Lifestealer also has an MKB. I mean, obviously he would buy an MKB. And you can see what the Dire side is doing, right? They're just rotating around, taking all of the bosses. That's exactly what they should be doing. This is exactly what you can expect. And the Radiant side is trying their hardest to combat this. Right? They are trying to take as many of these bosses themselves as they can. But it's just kind of hard.
Well, they're feeling a little bit violated by Axe and Nyx here.
Nice.
Trying to drag him towards the boss here. They will get the kill on the Nyx, and Axe is pretty deep. They'll rotate all their heroes on top of him just to get rid of him. But that's just more time bought, so Lifestealer can go and do more bosses.
Well, Phantom Assassin definitely does a lot of damage. And you saw it right there. Like, they just managed to secure 2 kills really quick.
Oh, wow.
And then she died.
Also dies incredibly quick, as we saw right there.
She does, especially against this bad boy. You gotta be careful, that's a tier 2 boss. You wanna be very aware of the damage output possible there.
Meanwhile, the Land of Supreme, no boss is too powerful for him.
Oh, no.
He did go for that Skadi build as opposed to double Daedalus, and I like this because now, even if you get an Abyssal in this PA, right, you can't just burst him down. It's almost impossible.
Well, I feel like you're maybe not giving PA enough credit here. Because it is a Phantom Assassin. I feel like Phantom Assassin is... If somebody can just burst down this Lifestealer really quick, it's gotta be a Phantom Assassin. Especially once the Shadow Fiend ends up being level 25. You know, he's got himself the Presence of the Dark Lord all maxed out. And that's something that I'm not worried about it happening, right? It's just, it's going to happen. Because Shadow Fiend is one of those heroes that pretty much always finds farm. There's nothing you can really do about it. And you can see, he's level 16, he's getting there. And once he actually fully gets there, he will be able to provide all of the support needed. The bigger problem to me is going to be just the supporting cost. Like, I don't know how the Lion is going to be able to really, you know, compete in this. And Lion also going for a bit of a weird item build, in my opinion. You know, getting Kaya, really investing a lot into this Finger of Death with Aghanims and E-Blade. Just trying to farm this up. But so far he only has one Finger of Death charge. You know, that's just not that much. And I don't know if that's going to be enough to really be the damage output that he's looking to be.
And that's the other thing. He can die so quickly. And the reason I bring up the PA the way I did is yeah, maybe you can actually fight the Lifestealer, but what do you need? You need a BKB, you need that Abyssal, and you look at the items right now, like, this is complete damage from the Phantom Assassin. There is no lockdown. There is... The closer you have to survival is a Satanic, but if you get stunned once, you're basically dead.
Yeah. I mean, Satanic is definitely a good option, though, right? It does actually help against stuns, just a tad bit, you know, status resistance and all of that. But, yeah, she does need a BKB. Like, it's just that simple. There's no way around the BKB. If you don't get BKB here, you're gonna get stunned by the Nyx and by the Ogre Magi, and then you're just gonna die. So, we'll see what she can make happen.
I mean, even then, it's a big who jumps first, because you got this Axe that can just call you through the BKB. I can understand why Buff AM feels the need to go towards these items instead of something like a BKB. But I still think you have to look beyond the Axe, beyond the Magnus, and realize these standard stuns are long enough for the Lifestealer to kill you. And they're actually going to kill Chatty. That's a 1, that's a 2, and that's a 3 hits.
Yeah. I mean, this capture point is going to be a big question mark here. Because if Peacemaker can just secure this, that would be huge.
Well, they just found Shadow Fiend again as well. The pressure's in. God. They'll find a kill on the line and onto the SF while still securing the point. Chaji trying to slow this down and stop Peacemaker from taking it. They'll silence him up, move in, but look at this. Hasty in. Nyx has arrived.
Yeah,
the Moffat is going to borrow.
And he's not
I think they can hang around anymore. They have to leave. This is all going away. Thumbs up for Dire right now. And Chaji going to be ran down as well. 5 hits. And he's gone. That's your tank, by the way. Just a casual 5 hits from a Lifestealer and it's dead. Grimstroke does die as well. He just casually walks around, slaps him once. It's like he's playing a game of tag, you're it. Like, tag, you're it, you're it, you're it. No, that's not how the game works, Lifestealer. The other person becomes it. You're it. Lifestealer, no. Okay, he killed me. Story of the game right now is just wherever Supreme goes, you really shouldn't be. Where are we going next in terms of items? What's the big pickup that you can see from Radiant? They go for a Blade Mail on Chaji. Not a bad move. But you won't have it in time for this here.
Well, you also need like the big items, like a heart or something like that. Just something to help you survive.
Drag Shadow Fiend's attention. Supreme runs through blue already. Now they turn around. They get rid of Dog in the Hood. He's gone. And now Infested inside to make sure Axe isn't just binding on the spot. The side duel thing's going pretty messy right now. 2-on-1. Buff AM just trying to stand his ground against this. There's a lot of damage to Peacemaker, but the stun's coming out, locking him on the spot. He wishes he had a BKB right now because he's dead.
It's just
Final
stalling
one,
again.
look, yeah, they're stalling again. Grimstroke, he's like, fine, I'll just TP away.
Like, no, you know you're not. We're gonna mess with you, but we're not gonna let you mess with us.
Sorry. Now Dire. 57-25 the score after what looked like a great lead for Radiant at the beginning. Just backfiring very quickly. Now chasing on the blue next. Stun's going to come up the Impale. That's long enough to lock him in the spot. They get the kill. And, you know, it's always nice when your opponent walks towards a boss that you can then farm.
Yeah,
although this might not be the one. Kill Tomorrow is doing exactly that.
I feel like this one might be a little bit early. Well, maybe not.
Not with the axe.
Yeah, if they got the entire team here, then that's definitely much more doable. And god damn, Ice Stealer.
Slap, slap, slap. Well, you know it, bosses are gone. He's already over 100,000 out. The call coming out in the chat. Actually, he ran straight back to where he just died. Not the right move. Abort. He's gone. Talon Blade Cage just head in, and now they're going to chase for more. Buff AM's been seen. Eckler thinking about going for the call opportunity. Doesn't in the end. It's a little bit too deep. They'll just turn around, go for the boss. They see Lucius, but no. Jump in. The call's going to come out. PA doing so much damage to himself with the Blade Mail active. Gets rid of him. Straight on to Lucius.
Man. Yeah, so like you asked, you know, what can they do? Like what is the items, or like what's the play to make them more powerful here? The thing is, if you look at the Radiant side, you see that the Phantom Assassin still has a Quelling Blade in her inventory. Alright? Shadow Fiend still has a Wraith Band. They gotta get 6 slotted first, you know, they gotta get rid of this tiny, worthless stuff. They have to actually become powerful.
When you say tiny, worthless stuff, were you talking about the Radiant heroes or the Radiant items?
Probably
right
both.
Now,
Oh, they just called it.
Oh, yep, GG.
They just call it. That's actually the shortest game of the day.
That a lot shorter than we expected.
Well, I mean, that's just it. That's Kindergarten gets knocked into the losers bracket by Way to Death. Way to Death now in the grand finals, which is gonna be well, interesting. I wonder if there's anybody here that can even challenge them. I mean, honestly, they just seem so overpowering, right? Just absolutely insane. So
I wasn't even close.
We're having some issues with. So we have Not Yet Dead and Something Hero Puddle. They finished their match, but Alpha Boys and Strategy actually haven't. They have not been able to. Because
they've not been able to.
Yeah, because the game keeps crashing. Apparently, they've hosted like 5 or 6 times and it keeps crashing.
That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. We're gonna go ahead and see if we can maybe get something. I'm gonna get it set up in a way that will actually work. And they tried going invisible so people can't spectate.
What's a good way to learn German? I want to learn it for an internship maybe, but do you have any tips? Also, I'm Dutch, so the language looks kind of similar.
So, we do need to spectate this though. I'm gonna go ahead and don't crash anything. Yeah, we gotta. Okay, there we go. I got the game. No, I would appreciate it really quick if after we join this, you can. If you could make yourself invisible on Steam so people can't join for you. I don't expect anybody will, but just to make sure.
Okay.
Because we want to just. Like, it's something that has happened before, where, actually, we don't really know. Honestly, we don't really know if this is what causes it, but we've had the speculation that spectators make crash games. Hasn't Chris told anyone how to save load the game? Actually, they've tried the save load feature and it still crashes, so they think it's something else. That's why they've decided to just completely, or, well, I guess, I decided to just completely rehost the game. But yeah, they tried safe loading, and the safe load actually worked, but the game still crashes afterwards. So that's kind of a little bit of an issue. But anyway, good thing is we get to watch the game from the start, while hoping that it doesn't crash. And yeah, I mean, we'll just look at it from the bright side, right?
Yeah, what's the complaint? You get more OAA, folks. There you go. There we go. Apparently, one of the members of the dire side wanted to change. Yes.
Wait, did they? Come on, man!
What's going on?
I just gave the names, man.
Musical chairs. I don't know. Yeah, like there you go.
I just put the names in. I gotta change the names.
Pretty sure Alpha Boy's on the right side.
Yeah, but they were on the left side a second ago, and I already put them on the left side, and you know, this is such a big deal.
Too much complication, guys.
Yeah, it's so hard on me. It's such a hard life, honestly. I don't even know what to do.
Why is the world so unfair?
Yeah, it's just rough. Tinker, okay.
Huh.
Well, that's somebody we haven't seen today.
Yeah, that's...
So I think that's actually a good sign, though. Like, we have seen different bands and different picks pretty much every game, right? Like, not entirely new ones, but still different enough. Like, oh, I think they're not banning. I think they're just recreating their picking stage. Never mind.
Okay.
I think they're just recreating their draft.
No, Chen and Tech. I mean, what you done to Techies is a good hero. So, what? Why have you stopped receiving? No, I've stopped receiving.
I don't know.
No,
you didn't crash.
I don't know.
I got kicked out.
Yeah, so did I. All right, this is becoming problematic. Another crash. Nice.
Wait, why is it crashing?
Guys. Dur is in beta, which means that this is in beta light.
Yeah, it might be. Maybe one of the players is causing it. Like maybe everybody like uninstall and reinstall OAA or something like that. I have no idea what could be causing this. It's time to host in Australia. Max, the only Australian player.
It's time. Like, I have to play with this crappy ping. For once, you guys can play with this crappy ping.
Well, I mean, I don't really know. Like, the thing is that the crashes, they aren't related to us. Like, this is Dota crashing the servers for some reason. Too many people playing auto chess. Shut the auto chess down, boys! It's just... Oh, god damn it.
We got to keep it alive. Keep the Dota numbers coming in. Everyone's already starting to make rip-offs of Dota auto chess.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. I saw some Chinese ones.
I think there's one from the League of Legends owner. Not the developer, but the publisher.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think it was like Tencent Gaming also have one that they've been working on.
Everybody's talking about like doing like a mobile version, which I don't really see that. Do you see the mobile version? Like to me, the mobile version doesn't even really seem like.
I think the mobile version would be like appealing because the nature of the game is it's like while it has a rapid part in terms of like piece placements when you're switching things in and out. Overall, a lot of it could be.
Yeah, but it's so long. Like mobile games are usually more like 5 to 10 minutes at most, right? Like you want to play mobile games in short time frames. You want to be able to get something done. And auto chess takes like 40 minutes, which is really long for mobile games.
I mean, you could probably find a way to like speed things up essentially.
Yeah, but then you're taking on all of the strategy. I feel like that wouldn't be as fun. Like to me, that's actually like the interesting part. You know that it actually takes a while. You gotta like work your way up. I don't know.
Okay, imagine how quick the games would be if you times 2 the speed of combat.
But then you don't even get to see the combat anymore.
You kind of do. Depends what people want. Like, this is the thing. If someone's on the go and they want to actually like be having 10 minutes themselves to quickly play a game, they don't really care about the slow, visceral combat. They want to see something quick. They're like more interested in the strategic layer and trying to win. It's all about product adaptation.
I don't know. I feel like if you make the combat too quick down, it's already pretty fast. You know, like then it'll just feel like it's like a purchase simulator. All you do is buy things and then hope you get something good.
It's almost like most mobile phone games are that.
No, that's not true. Most mobile phone games are idle games, which idle games are about progression.
But it's this whole kind of notion of like basically a lot of them will push you to buy, whether it's through embedded ads or a bunch of ridiculous little buffers.
Yeah, but that's not really what I'm talking about here. Either way, we're gonna go ahead and wait up. They're trying to host another lobby. I think, what are they doing this time around? They're trying to like reinstall the game. Make sure.
Resident Sleeper.
Yeah. Most other games have a speed multiplier. Yeah, well, that's the thing is, like, auto chess isn't an idle game. Right? Like, I don't know. Like, to me, auto chess seems like it's more of an active game. Like, it's something you want to play actively.
You could probably create some sort of adaptive type one. A bit like how people play chess. You know, where you have delayed chess, where you make your move and then, like, once a day or whatever.
That will probably be like that. That will probably be possible. Yeah. It's to me like the biggest question about auto chess, and this is something that I don't really believe in Drodo regarding this. I'm not gonna lie. But the thing about auto chess is that it's a pretty compelling game mode, right? Obviously, a lot of people really enjoy playing it. But for how long are they going to enjoy playing with Warriors and Goblin Mech, right? How do you keep this game interesting for a long period of time? Like, how do you expand upon it? Because you cannot just keep adding units to it. Like, that's just not a possibility. It's not like Dota. With Dota, you just release a hero every few months and people are happy, right? You can't do that here, because if you release too many units into the game becomes unplayable. It becomes too much variety, and there's no more skill involved. It turns into purely luck, right? You cannot just keep adding units into it. So how do you update it instead? And that's, to me, like the big question mark. That's what they gotta figure out, and we'll see how people deal with it.
No, it's definitely a problem. Like, generally, I kind of find the idea of a competitive scene for Dirt Chess kind of a bit laughable. There is a strategic layer, but like
I don't mind
a big chunk of the game is heavily like RNG induced anyway. You can't hide that.
It is, but that doesn't mean you can't be good at it. And I did.
Oh no, I'm not saying you can't be good at it, but I'm saying like if someone's expecting a competitive scene comparable to Hearthstone, Magic the Gathering, like these type of games that would fit in that kind of strategic category, similar. I don't think you're gonna get it, because there's like, when you consider those games, there's a difference in the way that you control your deck and you build a deck, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, you can have a game where you deck build, right? There's this very popular card game called Dominion, where you are doing that. You're building a deck.
I know.
But yeah. I don't think auto chess fits that category, right? It's this, you learn to flex and adapt your build based on what comes up, but there's still an inherently high kind of level of what lands in my hand.
So I think here I feel like there's a very clear difference in skill level, right? And I feel like a queen player will always win a bishop lobby. But what you're trying to say is basically like the way I understand it is basically like, if you have a bunch of queen players, whoever wins is essentially random, right?
Yeah, and I think like there is gonna eventually be a point like where it caps. Like, it's kind of weird that for all the complexity and how good people are at Dota on average compared to a few years back, there always seems to be a new layer to discover. Yeah. I think like the way the mechanics function in auto chess makes it very hard for you to reach past a certain point, if that makes sense. Like, once people, it's the same logic as like, imagine Dota a few years back when people didn't really respect the logic of denying or creep pulling, right? And nowadays they all do it. Like, there's a point at which people learn all these skills, like, damn. But then people learn how to do something else. They focus on the draft. They focus on the warding. And then there's always something new that's being introduced, so the dynamics of the game change. But it's very hard to change the dynamics of auto chess without changing the game itself entirely.
What? It crashed in the lobby?
This is going well.
What? How? God. Yeah, every other game was fine.
And Oniric Horror, the point is not that denies have been essential for X years. It's the average player identifying them in that regard for X years. That's the difference. Is how your average 3K player plays now compared to 5 years ago. They do a lot more than they used to. Like, my God, I used to just love going into a game and randoming and just playing the game. Now I go into any pub game, I'm counted. Like, it's just ridiculous. I've never seen, like, that's an example of a dynamic that has changed, like, the way that people approach the game and what is considered average play, what's not.
Yeah, no. It's also like a matter of, I think, in Dota in particular, it's actually pretty interesting. They have been slowly, like, as people become better at the game, right? They learn more about this mechanic. So while people have been using denying forever, right? It took people a long ass time to realize that denying actually is better than last hitting. And that eventually led to a situation where, you know, like, you gotta nerf denying. You gotta kind of like change things around there, because if you make denying too powerful, like it was, then, you know, like, the mechanic is kind of not fulfilling its purpose, and it becomes a bit ridiculous, right? Like, it's not as simple as just saying, like, people people know how to deny, but it's like more of like a good understanding of how good it is, like how much can you abuse it and push things further and further into that direction.
Yeah, I think the deny, like, the thing of the deny in that regard is kind of indicative of time, because you have to keep in mind that it wasn't as much people realizing that, oh crap, denying is better than last hitting just because. It was that they inflated the values to a point that it definitely was, right? Like, it was, before that, it was either not, or it was a variable debate, depending on who you were, whether it was better to, like, deny than CS. But then you came up to the increase in, you know, XP production. That was huge. That was huge. Then it was like, yeah, because XP decided everything. Then they tried to lower it again. Then they changed it around, made it about gold most recently. And then they've, on top of that, realized they needed to take a different approach by changing the kind of XP boundaries of, I think it's from level 7 to 10, mainly because of talents. I mean, talents is another example of how they just tried to flex the game even more as people were mastering existing mechanics. But it all comes down to, like, you compare Oil Chest to that. What do you introduce to as a mechanic, or how do you, like, evolve the current mechanics in a way that sets a new standard?
That's exactly the problem, right? Like, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I think the way they should be dealing with auto chess to, like, keep the game interesting and make it be something that people can continue to play for a long time is to essentially, like, treat it like a card game, right? And, like, if you play Magic, right, like, every year you have a rotation with, like, half, like, what if in auto chess next patch just said all warriors are gone? All right, here's a new race, like, or like, here's a new class. I think that would keep the game interesting. Now I'm like, oh, cool. Oh shit. Okay, so no more warriors. So all of the strategies regarding our warriors are just gone. Doesn't matter if they were balanced or not, right? They're just no longer here. So I have to completely change everything I know about the game. And if you, like, change things up that way, then you will actually get more interesting. Like, you'll keep people engaged. But again, like, I notice, like, a lot of hype surrounding auto chess right now, but I'm just worried about the game, because what I think will happen, unless somebody figures out how to, like, make sure to continue, like, how to keep it interesting in the future, it's just gonna be figured out. And once people figure it out, they'll just be like, oh, well, I guess I'm done with that now, and they'll just move on, and then it almost will drop hard, and it will drop very, very quickly once that happens.
Yes. So you have, like, there's different ways you can approach it. So your example of, like, a seasonal can work. There are other ways where you try and find a way, like I was saying, which sounds like it would be hard, to add new mechanics or, you know, complexity to the game. And those have the advantages and drawbacks. The other way is you actually strip it in the opposite direction, which sounds weird, but you basically try and find a way to even further simplify the product. And why you do that is because if you can just make it like something that's fresh and playing, but it's so simple, it doesn't, like, matter about your turnover, because you've got so many incoming players all the time, right? A lot of games function where it's just ease of access. The biggest problem for Dota is we are basic, like, games like Dota are essentially, if you compare it to MMOs, we're like EVE Online, right?
It's just hard to get into.
Yeah, but it's hard to get into, but its retainment is ridiculous, right? If you actually look at EVE Online, it's stable, like, user base is based over several years of participation, right? Because in that game, you can never master everything. Like you could play the entirety of the game active, and you would still not be leveled out completely. And they designed it that way on purpose, because once you're hooked for like X amount of time, you're in. And it's the same with Dota. Like once you learn Dota, the basis of Dota, you're kind of in. You're part of the kind of like Illuminati crew, right? And all the people on the outside, they just don't get it, man. They just don't understand why you're a member of this group. And you try and explain it to them, they still don't get it. You know, most people who actually happen into Dota, it's because of friends who play it, right? Then look at something like Call of Duty. People just randomly play Call of Duty and make new friends. You don't really need that intro point of a person. You can just go, it's just easy. I just pick it up, aim at someone, and shoot them. Oh, look at that. I've got a tactical nuke and I won the game. Thumbs up.
Yeah, well, one of the bigger problems there, I feel like, is with Dota, you really feel the need that, you know, like it's a team game, right? Like Call of Duty, you can kind of play on your own. Like one of the advantages there. It's actually, I think, one of the big strengths of auto chess. Like, you just play it on your own, right? Everything goes, does your thing. I don't know. I don't know what people are gonna do with the game, right? I feel like I know there's like kind of a gold rush surrounding it right now. I feel like there's like at least a 50% chance that all of that is gonna fall flat on its face. But yeah, I don't know. I've been wrong before though, right? Like, when auto chess first came out, people asked me, are there gonna be standalones of them? And I said, like, well, I said, I remember saying that. I said, people are gonna open Dota to play the game, but people aren't gonna install a new game to play it. Well, it turns out people are going to install Dota to play it, so they're also going to install a new game to play it, right? So that's clearly not true. I think if you were to release like auto chess as a standalone right now, people would play it. The question is just what about in a year, right? And maybe that's fine. Maybe like whoever makes auto chess standalone, right? Like maybe they just release auto chess and they're like, there it is. Then they balance it, and they're like, it's done. Cool, play it. All right, and then they just move on, and you just get the money from that. I don't know. Maybe you don't try to make it like a continued product.
I mean, you have to generally wake the realization that most of the games industry is based around short-term gains now. Like, it's not about building a genre or an IP. It's about bursting in, making a bunch of money, and then starting to plan your next product.
Yeah.
That's sadly, it's very sad that that's the way it is, but it is. Like, even from... it's not just like it makes sense to an extent for your medium-sized studios. You can understand why they're trying to like just throw a lot of shots at the board and see what hits with minimum cost efficiency, like basically maximum cost efficiency. But then even big companies, right? Like you look at what recently Activision, EA, Ubisoft have been doing with their IP brands. They've been destroying them because they are just milking them and throwing them out each year. They're not really thinking about how they can reinvent. And this is just a general issue in the games industry, like across the board at the moment, is people aren't compelled to change the way something works, right? Why reinvent the wheel when the wheel is selling? I'm just going to try and do what X like competitor is doing, but slightly better, instead of coming up with the next way to revolutionize this genre or this industry entirely.
Yeah, but I don't really think there's anything wrong with that. Like, to me, it's you can try to come up with a million new things, but like I personally would rather play a nice, good okay, so I am currently, here's what I'm currently doing. I'm currently designing a card game, right? And whenever I like try to like show it to somebody, it's not quite done yet. Like, I'm working on a prototype. And whenever I show somebody like what I currently have for the prototype and they ask me how it works, I basically just start. So it's Hearthstone, but, right? And the thing is that it's just uses the basic rules of like Hearthstone or Magic. Like, if you have played Hearthstone and Magic, then you know how my game works at its core. But to me, that's not really a problem, because like what I'm trying to do is I'm not trying to like reinvent it. Like, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I just want a really nice fucking wheel. You know, sure. I just want a wheel where you're like, damn, that's good.
And that's fine. Like, that's basically, that's the whole... So, from an early point in, like, game design, I was taught that, you know, you got to keep in mind stealing is fine, copying is not, right?
Yeah.
So, and stealing is the highest form of flattery. So, people, like, can respect you for that. It's the point that people aren't even taking that risk to try and do something better to like the best of their ability, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
they more or less they kind of partition it. They go, okay, this only needs to be a little bit better, and we can basically just snatch away. Or this only needs to be a little bit better polished because everyone's moaning about how janky the driving system is in the most recent battle royale. We do that slightly better, we're great.
I actually think the battle royales are a really interesting like example there though, because like you know why Fortnite was so successful, right? Because
it was the marketing focus on younger age people.
Well, I feel like that helped, but like the initial really big burst to me from what I saw was basically everybody was playing PUBG, right? But PUBG was a giant piece of shit. Just like from like a technology point of view, it's just so bad. It's so bad, right? Like the worst client I've ever played. And then you have lots of people like me who are like, okay, I like this genre. I like shooters. This sounds fun. And then Fortnite comes around and is like, so we're like PUBG, but we're not a giant piece of shit. and to me, that was just like, holy hell, all right, I'm in, right? And that's what like brought in that first huge wave from what I can see. Right? And then afterwards, you really had them push the marketing because like Fortnite wasn't really meant to be like a huge successful battle royale. They actually made it as like a, you know,
it was a recoup cost factor basically after like the original game failed, right? Like it's a lot of games doing that. Like the most successful ones, funnily enough, Fortnite done it, Apex done it. Most people don't seem to realize a lot of what you see in Apex is recycled assets from Titanfall.
Yeah, Titanfall 2, which apparently was actually a really good game, funnily enough.
I sadly never got it. I was really absorbed in the first one. I played the crap out of it in the beta. I bought it, and then after 10 hours after main release, I just got bored of it. I didn't bother with number 2.
I played a bit more than that. I did like Titanfall a lot, but it's just like after a little while, it's just like, okay, shoot a guy, get a Titan. Right? Like, it's just like, okay, I get it. Like, it's fine.
I feel like the big issue, like to go back to the original point, is like, it's not, there's nothing wrong with just trying to improve a little bit on what someone's doing. It's the fact that instead of coming up with original ideas or like being inspired by something and creating something, there is this copycat motion in the industry right now. And Battle Royale is just the most recent example of that, is everyone just trying to cash cow in on what seems like an easy opportunity. And before that, it was survival games. It's kind of funny, actually, because it's all Ripple, right? Before survival, I say it was FPSs. Like, there was a huge FPS craze around modern shooters. That was being led by the inspiration that was brought on by Call of Duty 4, which revolutionized FPSs. Because before that, we were in the
seems like you left out the MOBAs in there.
MOBAs, yeah, let's go a separate one. I'm like giving a Ripple pattern based on like similar. You can make the jump, right? And it's like it's an example, and there's like always this initial burst that's really inspiring, and then instead of anyone else trying to get ahead of the curve, they all just copy each other, and then like you have to wait 4 more years before someone comes up with another original idea. Or not even original. That's my point. It's not. It's original because everything is the same. That makes sense. Like you had DayZ and Rust and all this crap, and someone went, "Wait, why don't we just do a battle royale game?" Like it's the whole idea of survival, but you actually have a focus.
Okay. We actually have a problem. Kindergarten sadly has to forfeit the losers bracket final. One of the players had an emergency and they can't play.
Huh. So not yet.
So
that still waiting on an opponent. So, because
so
what are we on? We're on Alpha Boy and Chatterjee, right?
Yeah. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna hopefully eventually start Alpha Boys versus Chatterjee strategy. Then the winner of that is gonna play against Not Yet Dead, and what would have been losers semis is now losers finals, and then whoever wins that. It crashed again. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, no. So we're gonna have Alpha Boy versus Chatterjee, then one of those versus Not Yet Dead, and then whoever wins that one versus WTD. Yeah, is Kindergarten out. Okay. If we ever get this game, though, I mean, at least you're getting a podcast in between. The intermittent.
I don't know what. So we're currently assuming it's one specific player because in the console, every player was listed with a specific ping number, listed with like a specific number, except for that one player was the only one was different. It's the only clue we have what could be causing it. Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know what's going on here. Host elsewhere. We have tried 5 different hosts at this point on like 5 different regions. We're gonna go and host without that player and see if that works. But yeah, this is what appeared in the console when the game crashed. I'm gonna go and just put it on screen. All right, it said you can see every player has this 80,000 here, except for Private Pigeon. Was it 40,000? Now we have no idea what this means, but we know it's different for some fucking reason. So since that's the only hint we have, we're just gonna go ahead and see if we can host without him. And then if that
fucking goddamn pigeons, they're always the problem.
Yeah, it's always the pigeons. Yeah, this is really irritating.
By the way, shame for the no dark mode Discord.
Yeah.
That looked like a horror story.
I don't know why people always go on about that. All right, I don't.
If like from a programming perspective, like I am just absorbed in the logic of dark over light.
I just use Flux.
I mean, it's not about that. It's like the color, like differences between having like a white background and then black text, whatever, versus black background, white text. It's just like I think there was like some tests done. It was proven it was actually easier to concentrate and see everything clearly when it's like black background.
Yeah, I don't really mind the light mode at all. I think it looks like I think it's visually more appealing to me. The black mode, I don't know, or dark mode, I don't really like it that much. And to me, like when it matters, like it doesn't matter during the day. I can read both just fine. The only time it matters is during the night, when dark mode would be more pleasant on the eyes, you know. But like to me, I just use Flux at that stage anyway. I just use Flux to like dim my screen. Yeah.
Actually, funnily enough, I don't use Flux anymore.
I
feel like I should put it back on. It's like the thing I noticed is you could like notice a very big difference in colors games sometimes.
Oh yeah,
the way they.
I mean, like your stuff does look very much orange. Like that's just undeniable. But to me, the benefit of Flux is 10 times worth that. Like it's so nice to just. It helps me to sleep. You know, like it's such a big deal. Honestly.
Maybe I just want to burn my retina. Can you just...
Well, maybe you do. Maybe you do.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't need much sleep. I'm one of those weird people. Always will. Yeah, it's I remember someone got me into Flux, and their friend was got into Flux as well. And I can't remember. It was like at the worst time of the day to like switch Flux off to go full brightness. Someone convinced him to turn it off. You just heard him scream. Like he couldn't, like he couldn't actually see his screen properly for a few like minutes. He had to keep like rapidly blinking.
How many?
I think he was sitting in a dark room. That was the problem. He was sitting in like a super dark room, and it's like boom, it's like he just got flashbanged by his screen.
Chad wants to know how many holes a straw has.
How many holes does a straw have?
It's one.
As many as you make.
I guess, but if you have a default straw, it's one.
Sure.
It's just a really thin outer
one
layer.
Continuous hole. No?
Yeah, it's one. It's not two.
Goes through one end, comes out another, like a clean gunshot wound. You know?
That's
like, do you say someone's got 2 holes in that scenario? Is it a one?
I don't know why do you immediately go to that? Why don't you use like a drill?
People
hole?
respond to like people respond to like severes, right? I always do. It's like someone give like a simple example, like, yeah, I think cake is better than biscuits. It's like, oh yeah, you know, you think war in Iraq is better than war in Afghanistan. Like, I'll find a way to like create an extreme, because it's like someone goes, well, that's just silly. It's go, yeah, but then if you like use logic, you can strip the extreme down to the basic, and it's a comparative. It's like it's a very weird way to go about things, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of examples I've done it in. I've had plenty of examples over the years, but I can never remember them. But it's like it's just you're basically just taking something simple and amplifying it. And well, I'm pretty sure you can look at things like politics and economics and everything and realize that people respond a lot more to extremes, even when they are comparative.
Well,
like the Big Mac index. No one takes the Big Mac index seriously.
What's the Big Mac index?
It's so what it is a method for measuring like the average expenditures and costs of things in a country based on the cost of a Big Mac in a country.
Ah, okay.
It's actually a fairly accurate way of looking at things on a basic level. So for example, Switzerland is extremely expensive on that index. I think we check actually. I think they might still be the highest. It wouldn't surprise me. Switzerland is just ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, it is pretty expensive, but it's not the most.
It is.
Expensive.
There you go. No, it is.
No, I mean it might be the most expensive Big Mac.
It's still pretty expensive overall, like in the average cost. So it's $6.62 for a Big Mac in Switzerland. The USA is at $5.58. The Euro area on average is $4.64. Man, what is this? I thought America was like meant to be cheap for your food. You're getting ripped off on your Big Macs. Britain is down at 4.07. Where's good old Germany? I mean, I guess that's just going to count as Eurozone.
Well, Germany is pretty cheap in general. Like, it's actually rather cheap to
I think you're at 4.64, like your Euro area. You're categorized under Euro area. We get our own country, apparently. Like we just get listed separately in preparation for Brexit, Kappa. Sweden's actually pretty expensive. I was surprised by the like everything being that expensive when I went.
Well, they just have really high taxes on everything, and they put it on the like general, like they have really high sales tax mostly.
Same in Norway. Interestingly enough, there's a big in this Big Mac index, there's a big dip between those two and Denmark. Surprising.
And Germany has cheap food. Yeah, Germany is just generally pretty cheap. Surprisingly so. The only it's rent is usually pretty high, especially in the south, like especially where I'm from. But other than that, like generally food and such is actually very affordable, very cheap. Anyway, we're currently trying another host, and it crashed again. Holy hell!
Yeah, okay. Like Germany does have good food. I usually just go to the kebab shops when I'm there. Oh, there's so many kebab shops. It's really unhealthy of me, but that's what I get for visiting Berlin. Apparently, there's a lot more kebab shops in East Germany than West, from what I've been told. I'm fine with that.
We have a shit ton of kebab everywhere, dude.
Oh,
you can't go. I mean, like, that's the one constant everywhere in German life. You can't go have a kebab pretty much everywhere.
I mean, over here it's curries. You go anywhere, you get curry. In fact, for some odd reason, the curry is actually a national dish of the UK. Process that for a moment. Think about how silly that sounds.
That is a little bit silly.
We love our curry.
So we need to move on here in the tournament. Like, we cannot keep crashing this. Well, one team has to get out. I mean, the thing is, for the best tournament, Alpha Boys should continue on.
Are they the one with the problem?
We just watched 2 games of Alpha Boys and they didn't have an issue. Admittedly, Chatterjee's strategy, we watched a game too and they played another one. Like, we don't know who's having the issue. But it's just, somebody has to move on. And
you know, no matter what choice you make, someone's gonna like Photoshop a picture of you laughing sinisterly, like Mr. Burns.
Yeah, I mean, like,
and then put it on Reddit.
I kind of just feel like, you know, like, for the tournament, the best thing to do is to have Alpha Boys move on. Because Alpha Boys, I think, have a drastically higher chance of making it through. Right? Like, I feel like Alpha Boys is like 90-10 favored in this match. And they are... And yeah, I mean, it's probably the better team, but... Hey, I'm gonna go, wait. I'll go talk to some people real quick. I'll be right back, okay?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Have you guys figured out what's going on?
We have no idea. We've tried everyone closing down Steam and reopening.
Essentially everything. Rehosting all pick, rehosting captain's mode, doing a complete different draft. I asked them what was happening. They also said it's crashing sometimes at exactly 0-0 after the minus time has been over.
Okay.
My only solution was whoever had the highest score wins till it crashes. My last resort was also a coin flip if both teams agree. Which is also not a good solution.
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to the teams really quick. 1 second.
I mean, they are in game now.
Oh, I mean, if it
like that, they're trying to start again with all of them by the looks of it. But I don't know I don't know if it's still crashing.
Yeah, like the thing is, like, I mean, ideally we have Alpha Boys move on if this game doesn't happen, right? And I know it sounds kind of shitty, but like, what else can we do? But we gotta talk to them first.
Crashed again.
It crashed again.
All right, I'm gonna go talk to them. 1 second. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and mute myself so they don't feel pressured by the stream. Sorry, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So we're gonna have Alpha Boys move on with the consent from Chatterjee Strategy.
Okay, there we go. Done.
Okay.
Also, Kindergarten gave up the game because they had an emergency.
I know. But we still have the losers finals, Alpha Boys versus Not Yet Dead, and then the grand finals, Way to Death versus whoever wins that. That's fine. That's a good last 2 matches. We'll just do that.
Hopefully it's gonna go well.
Yeah.
Let's get the flips done.
Okay, cool. You guys got it. Hello.
Hello.
All right. I talked to them. Chatterjee Strategy was okay with just dropping out of the tournament for the sake of getting it to move on. So we're gonna just have Alpha Boys versus Not Yet Dead now, and then the grand finals after that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of sucks. Honestly, no idea what's causing it. Like, if we had even a hint, you know, like any clue what the problem was, we would try and resolve it in a different way. But it's just no idea. Right? Like, don't think it's the game. I've never experienced this before. Like, and our game is usually very stable. We usually don't have any issues at all. So I don't know. We do just kind of hope that Alpha Boys isn't the problem here, right? Let's just hope that Alpha Boys isn't the problem.
Right. Oh wait, Alpha Boys is the problem. Chachi, you there? They're AFK.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and they are starting up the game. Part of spectating a game. What is part of spectating?
Shout out to Chatterjee Strategy. We threw you on a landmine so the tournament didn't have to. You will be remembered for 10 minutes before we forget. God bless. Though the brackets do not show that you fell mercilessly onto that sword that you did not need to, we shall remember.
We shall remember.
600 seconds.
Oh, that's just normal Dota. That's a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, I was like, hold on a sec. This looks too familiar. That
is not what we're going for. Can you get alpha keys for being homies? I'm pretty sure they already have them, most of them at least. Yeah. Yeah, I mean it sucks. But I don't really have anything else I can say. Right? We want to go ahead and get moving, though. We want to go ahead and actually get another game started here. And then hopefully have some nice finals. That's really unfortunate. You know, everything was going too nicely. And everything was moving too smoothly.
Something had to happen.
Yeah, it had to. What can you do about it?
Also, I just need to open my Reddit and honestly post.
Hey, I did
outrage as Barmy again. Has something go wrong in a tournament. He is the devil and should be burned at a stake. Is that reasonable?
I mean, that sounds about right. I mean, that sounds very in character. I feel like so. Good job.
This is what I do. I'm gaining Reddit's trust.
Ah, that's good. Slowly getting there.
Not sure what I do with their trust. Farm karma? I don't know.
I mean,
Reddit gold, yeah.
Nothing more valuable than Reddit gold.
I mean, what else do I need in life? Got bills to pay? Kind sir, do you accept Reddit gold? I never ask.
I only accept payment in bitcoins and Reddit gold.
Like the Reddit's version of a Swiss bank right now. Come get your goodies.
All right. So, Chai is spectating a game. I think this should be the one.
Kato, I don't know how to tell you this. I'm not Toby.
I mean, you
Thanks
can't just
for not
pretend to be.
identifying me as my... Oh yeah, sorry. Let me just. What do Australian people say? Crikey, mate! Oh, good looking over there. We gotta come around the side. Oh no, not the black hole. He's gonna do one for the price of two. It looks like he's got him inside there, not the Enigma. Oh no!
Hey, that's actually really good.
Oh, sec. Oh no, they're gonna come around the side. Doesn't look like I can control the fighting time. Gonna get on top of him. I just want to do a shoey right now because the only way I can fathom what just happened is if I get a drink. Oh no, they're coming around. It's gonna be a black hole and a fight. It's a disaster.
I mean, that was actually pretty damn impressive. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
There you go.
Oh man.
I take half of Toby's rate, so
yeah, what is Toby's rate? Is Toby expensive?
more expensive than me.
All right. Just waiting for the players to load in, and let's really hope they don't crash. Is this the... Wait! God damn it, this isn't an actual game. This is not in the tournament. Come on, dude.
Oh, I don't know. I guess we better put some shrimp on the Barbie while we wait for the real game. Oopsie, what the hell? Okay, somehow
So
left
I was
pie.
just
That's not good either.
spectating some random pub game. God
What the
damn
hell?
it.
Just randomly left pie. What the... No,
Wait,
I don't
did
want to
I?
leave pie. No, I did. I don't know
You did.
how. Coming back.
Hey, no, that's the same game. Oh, god damn it. I don't know how to stop spectating a game, by the way, so we're just kind of stuck with this now until
Just
Chai's turn.
stuck watching it.
4 minutes. Also, is
It
all
criminal
looks so
pigeon.
good.
Also,
Wait, it
can I
crashed
still
again.
donate to change your
Oh
name?
no!
Wait, no, this is good! Because that's the team that's out.
Now we can fire Alpha Boy's ass.
No,
Yeah!
no, Alpha Boys wasn't in that match.
Oh.
Like, the game that just crashed doesn't have Alpha Boys in it, only Jetta G strategy.
Well, now we can kick both teams. Yeah.
No, what would that get done? How would that help anybody?
Well, I guess we kick all the teams. Yeah.
Just shut it all down. Take the prize money for ourselves.
Ha ha ha. That's how I get paid.
I should never have said that. People are gonna like clip that and use it out of context. You know how it goes.
So how do I wait? Oh, so I'm just trying to get.
Gotta make another Reddit post. Ah, God damn it.
More Reddit gold, more Reddit gold.
Yes.
Hey, you know what I'll tell as well? I'm making more Reddit gold off this post than the participants are making from the OAA tournament. Ayo!
And as we all know, you can't just resell that Reddit gold for real gold.
Of course.
So,
Also, I don't know how I feel anymore about these discount Toby talk, okay, you know? Like, you know, it's when I started casting, it's like, I was this flattering, right? Cause like, oh, you're being compared to some of the best casters. Duh. And eventually you're like, I just want people to see me for me, you know?
I want people to remember me. Oh, no.
I want people to see me for the real me.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. They will never do that. And you just have to accept that. All right, let's see if we are ready to go.
Make more. Wow, thanks, Master. Yeah, I'm just a performing freaking monkey right now. Oh, do more Toby impressions. Wait, why would you do Toby when you can do other things?
Like Ogre Magi. Just coming on over here, seeing some things on the shrimp barbie, seeing what we can get come through.
Wait,
Ogre,
wait. Ogre's also Australian.
Yeah, have you never noticed the Ogre Magi? It kind of sounds Australian.
No, I've never noticed.
And then this one doesn't. It's really weird.
But I definitely do.
Can we have impressions instead of the tournament? I mean, tournament is just kind of like waiting. We'll get there.
I don't know. I'm just trying to earn my keep, just doing what I do.
Slacks has a better gyrocopter.
No, he doesn't. Holy shit! It's Viper! Beat that. Have you ever noticed that gyrocopter sounds like the rabbit from Fox? Do a barrel roll! Really does, doesn't it?
I don't know what the rabbit from Fox is.
Every time I try and help Balmy be more relatable to the average gamer,
I don't know what that is. What is the rabbit from Fox?
It's like the one that says "do a barrel roll." It's like one of the most infamous lines. Do a barrel roll. You know, you can
are you talking about fucking Star Fox?
Yeah,
oh
Star Fox.
My god!
Yeah.
The rabbit from Fox, and you're trying to tell me you talk about fucking Star Fox?
Did I say Fox? Yeah, Star Fox. Yeah.
Oh my god!
I'm jumping a word. Nah, dude. In fairness,
that's my fault.
In fairness, whole chat will agree. When I say do a barrel roll and you still don't know what I'm on about, it's like
I know that it's in Star Fox. I didn't know if that was the original reference, though. You're the rabbit from Fox, and you're trying to tell me that it's fucking Star Fox. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like I missed out the star, but I said do a barrel roll, man. I can't help you. If you can't get to it,
all right.
That's on both of us. I ain't swallowing the sword on this one, all right? I'm just.
There, we got a game, okay? Do I have the teams on the right side? I do. Do I?
I mean, I don't think they even care about the game anymore. I'm like a performing monkey for them. Like, what else does he do? What else does he do? Do another one for us.
Hey. This is actually a cool game, though. This is actually first seed against second seed.
Ooh.
I mean, that's kind of sick, all right?
Wait, so this isn't. Wait, so this is the which one is Alpha Boys versus Not Yet Dead?
Alpha Boys versus Not Yet Dead. Yeah, that's first and second seed.
I just had to double check because I wasn't quite sure if we were something against WTD. Like, there's so many freaking whatever. Let's go. Alpha Boys versus Not Yet Dead. They're not yet dead. They're still in the game. But can they beat the Alpha Primes? That's the real question we're here to answer.
Yeah, well, nobody really knows. We got Kunkka being banned and Elder Titan being banned as well. Magnus coming out, Wraith King. So generally, just kind of like the big team fighters, right? Like that's what we've seen so far. I think we've seen a lot of like that big team fighting, then centered around like one big carry that's gonna do all of the damage, while the rest of the team just disables stuff. I wonder if we're gonna see the Lifestealer taken out of the pool. I mean, Lifestealer has just been an absolute monster. Or yeah, Bounty Hunter. I think Bounty Hunter was the hero that Alpha Boys liked a lot, right? We've seen Wodex and Bounty Hunter twice so far.
No, I'm just checking your chat. I think they want you to do impressions of the heroes, Balmy. Not me. They want you to.
I can't do impressions. I can
Do a
hardly speak
Kunkka.
English.
Do a Kunkka.
Okay, so here's what you need to know. I am kind of retarded while playing games, and I have no idea what Kunkka sounds like. I couldn't remember a single voice line.
You don't listen, yeah, because you don't play with, yeah. That's
I don't.
terrible.
I do not know a single of Kunkka's voice lines. Not one.
I mean, it's like so the weird thing for me is I don't actually have voice lines on often anymore because when you're
No, I have
playing,
them on.
you don't want them speaking. Yeah, but you just like you said half the time you don't even play with like headphones or anything, right?
Yeah.
So like yeah, it's kind of understandable to an extent. It's like some of these I don't even remember what they sound like. I've been at the moment I'm in the middle of doing like a spoof Disney song, and I had to remember Lycan's voice, and it's like I don't remember Lycan's voice.
I'm trying to remember a single hero that I actually remember like the voice of. I remember what Pango sounds like. I can't tell you a voice line though.
It's like kind of Spanish, right? Kind of...
Yeah, something like that. I have played how much Dota? Wait. I have 9,700 hours of Dota. All right.
Too much.
And I couldn't tell you anything about the voice lines. It's just something that I completely tune out while playing and don't notice them at all.
All right, so I'll teach you how to do an easy one, right? Timbersaw, just hold your nose and say Timbersaw.
Timbersaw. Like that? I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
Timbersaw. You know, it's kind of like that, right?
Look.
Kind of go to that.
Look. They picked Shadow Fiend and Phantom Assassin, which we've seen a lot today. Seems to be a combo. We've got Timbersaw and that other boy, Terrorblade, on the other side, which is kind of cool. All right. And yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and move past this whole impression thing because I don't know how to do impressions. All right.
I mean, it's like no, the chat is like asking all kinds of techies. Like, no, you're not gonna see techies this game, so you don't get hit at techies. Techies like techies kind of thing. I don't know. I don't remember what he sounds like. What head are you talking about, guys? Techies is free heroes. Why is Techies not controlled by free players? There you go. You don't have the answer, do you?
Does every player get like one mine?
One like, have you seen, was that Heroes of Storm had that? They had like a guy called Cho'Gall, and two people controlled him, right? And
well,
like,
but he actually had like a lot of abilities.
Yeah, I mean, just do that, right? Like, that would make techies interesting. I can respect the crap out of that hero. Right now, I don't give a crap about it. It's like, oh, look at me, I place a bomb. Oh, I place another bomb. Look at me, I'm the Al Qaeda Dota. And everyone's dead.
I don't know if I can get this guy to be back on topic again.
We had too long in podcast.
It's just not happening.
I'm looking at the draft, and every time I'm like, oh, this is just the same draft last time, but I mean, you don't need to say anything. Don't worry, I'll just cover you. We'll just
It's not even the same draft, though.
I mean, it is on the left side. I don't care about the right. The right side has a freaking Terrorblade. We've seen enough of that for a lifetime and a half because it's Terrorblade.
Oh, you mean like because
in general? I mean, come on.
Okay, I get it. No, like, I get what you're saying.
Do you want more TB in your life? I don't want more TB in my life.
No, I really don't need any more of that, boy.
I mean, that's why they give us injections for that, you know?
Yes, I guess. I don't know.
What, do you not have TB injections over there? Tuberculosis, dude.
I don't know. I think, do we? Probably.
I'm pretty sure it's like standard in most Western countries.
I
like,
imagine.
So.
I don't know. I'm not in charge of this. I'm not medically trained.
I don't know if we do. I think we do.
Oh, yeah. Hey, just come over here, Doc. Just insert that crap in my body. What is it? Don't care. Just get it in there. Let's go.
I don't have any regular TB injections. I don't know what you're talking about. It's like a vaccination when you're a child or what?
Yeah, it's a vaccination.
I don't know that. My mom did that shit.
Injecting regular TB.
I don't know. You're the one that's coming at me with this nonsense.
You're the one coming at me with syringes. Just peer pressuring you right now. Between me and the chat, we'll just force you to inject
I'm just
TB.
saying, I don't know what vaccinations I got as a child because my mom did that. Like, I don't need to worry about that. Do you go to your child and be like, here, kid, this is a list of all the vaccinations you're getting? Like, the kid doesn't know. And kid won't remember.
Go up to the kid like, yeah, you don't want to go like herpes, tuberculosis, freaking meningitis.
Wait,
get all these. You get herpes off anything.
Yeah,
like,
you're
do
getting
know, like,
herpes. Did you just say herpes vaccine?
Yeah.
Is that like...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
I don't think there is a herpes vaccine.
Okay, so like 90% of the world's population has herpes in the first place.
Yeah, because herpes is because it's like the mouth thing is the same. It's just that it's more or less the same thing.
Okay, I'm glad that we're at least both ignorant. They have an Ogre Magi and a Spirit Breaker though, and a Skywrath Mage. We haven't seen Skywrath Mage.
Different. Let's get on it. Yeah, Skywrath Mage.
And Vengeful. Look at how you're talking about the same teams. What are you talking about? That's new heroes. I haven't seen those at all. All right, we saw Ogre Magi for like one game, and then he like actually did pretty well, and then their game was over in like 12 minutes. But you know,
it still counts. You know, it's still a game.
It still counts. I mean, I wanted to not count though, right?
You know what, chat?
I'm not
you
sure
know
which
what?
side I'm on right now.
But here's the thing, chat. This is what Bummy is now learning when it comes to casting, especially in the Doa land. No one really cares if you talk about the draft.
Nobody gives a shit about the draft.
They just want to be entertained. You're just a dancing monkey, and you don't even realize it until like 2 years into your casting career.
No, I actually mega agree. Like whenever I watch Dota, which is like never, but whenever I do, I hard skip all of the draft. That's just like I just mute the stream and just like put something else on until the draft is over, right? Who the fuck wants to see that? Who cares about drafting? It takes like 20 minutes.
It's like I remember the first time me and Liz had cast together, and he was getting ready to like analyze what was happening at the start of the draft. And I'm just there like honking his very well toned man boobs, you know, going, "Wow, you really work out." And it's just like this is the beauty of esports. No one cares about that crap, you know. Imagine if like Gary Lineker had done that to Alan Shearer, right? Everyone would be like, "Oh, what the hell?" Land of Dota? Don't care.
Okay.
Oh, we got an Abaddon. We
do have an Abaddon, though. That's another new hero. Like, there's no new teams. Well, we've got a team of, like, 3 new heroes.
They heard me, that's why.
Yeah, there we go.
Snipers. God. But, yeah, that does mean that they've got their front line in order now. They've got a good way of actually controlling the fight with the swaps as well. This is a little bit spicy. I'm liking this because, wow, I wouldn't be liking it if I was Dire side right now because We've seen the team would be pretty effective, but if you end up in a physical battle, if people build BKBs, you only have one way of dealing with people right now, really.
I find this Radiant team really interesting. They are so squishy, right? And I think what's going on there is they're basically just saying, all right, we don't know, we're gonna just be fucking squishy, right? And Abaddon, you get Aghanims and just push R, and then like doubles our HP pool for a bit. And if we don't kill them in that time, then we just lose, I guess. Which is kind of an interesting strategy. Honestly, I dig that. So,
what's the final pick? I mean, they're sitting there like, what? But Abaddon? Who picks Abaddon?
Abaddon is good. Abaddon actually has some neat stuff in OA as well. There's like an item that pretty much only Abaddon ever buys. It's actually pretty damn good on him. And there's the Bounty Hunter again. That hero has just been doing really well.
Whoa, no, though. Hold on. Before you continue that thought, look who's playing the Bounty Hunter.
Oh,
it's not Wallex. That's unexpected for those that have only just tuned in. Wallex has been kind of greedily hugging this hero so far. Like, he loves it.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Wallex doesn't play the Bounty Hunter here. I guess he really likes the Timber Saw. And that's actually just genuinely very surprising to me. Like, especially, I feel like in a tournament setting, whenever I have played in a tournament, maybe that's just because I'm bad, right? But whenever I've played in a tournament, I always like just playing the same hero for the entire tournament because I'm like, you kind of get into a groove of things, right? And you're like, okay, cool, I kind of like know what I'm doing with this. I'm just gonna kind of like, you know, kind of like continue with that pattern because it's clearly working. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see how this other Bounty Hunter performs. We saw that Wallex likes to play super aggressively, right? That's what he does. He goes in and keeps going in and just never stops. We'll see if Peke does it like that too or plays a bit differently.
And there is definitely a big problem if you keep playing the same hero, actually. Like, it seems logical, like, yeah, I'm warmed up, I understand this hero. But where it actually becomes a problem is once you hit a wall, once you lose a game, once you do badly, because you start to realize what's happening is you start treating your previous games, the current game, like the previous game, because it worked before it'll work again. That's just not how Dota works. That's not how OAA works. You have to adapt. You have to flex. And it's the reason why there's a lot of pro teams that actually, on purpose, will not pick the same hero for their cores twice in a row.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, right? And we did see in the last game that Volux did actually lose with the Bounty Hunter, right? Like, the last game we spectated, that is. I'm not sure how the previous game went, but well, we'll see how this works out. Anyway, we got a very... we got our first duel here coming up. We'll see how this turns out. Got Shadow Fiend with the razors, lots of mangoes. Vengeful Spirit with the stun, of course. Skywrath Mage is gonna be, I think, the scariest here on this. Because Skywrath Mage just does so much damage of these.
Well, you say that. The razors would have been good, but the final one didn't come out in time. If you care, walk it off. And now the teams are separated. Walks is super far away. Suck around, look on the Panther, trying to do enough damage. Going to stun him up with the magic missile. They go to work on him. Anti doesn't have the aphotic shield. Will he get the kill on the TB? Anti can walk away on the side, though. Skywrath just doing his thing. D3K has to run away pretty quickly. Mr. Around, and we'll get the salve off on the high ground. They can turn around, maybe look on to the Ogre Magi next, because the Bounty Hunter is just being elusive.
Yeah, Bounty Hunter actually using 2 salves during this fight. So even though the Bounty Hunter, you know, didn't die, I guess, definitely a very expensive side.
He's going to fight with the Shadow Fiend. The Shadow Fiend can actually fight him up there. Nice. He's going to get the kill. Nice aphotic shield coming out. And Nero, he'll be next on the hit list. They're going to leave Spirit Breaker for last. Oh, Shadow Fiend?
Shadow Fiend is down.
Okay. He went in for it.
Oh, this isn't over.
The batches.
These are thick boys.
They're jumping straight on a Skywrath. He's a fast little birdie. They're going to make him squeal like a piggy.
These are the thickest boys, though. Like, these guys can definitely do this just by virtue of having a lot of stats.
They are flexing. Skywrath's down, and now it's going to be a one-on-one.
Yeah, he's not going to get it.
Yep, he's going to win it. The Spirit Break. Oh, no. It's so close.
That was the closest level 1 duel we have seen all day. That's crazy. Yeah, the thick boys. I mean, like the Ogre Magi and the Spirit Breaker. Those are... I think those are actually the 2 highest effective HP heroes at level 1 in the game. Right? I think Terrorblade is also in the mix, though. Terrorblade with that massive armor. Terrorblade also on the dire side. So, like, you just gotta deal a lot of damage to them early on to take them down. And that really showed.
Boys definitely got more bulk than my belly. As a result, they managed to actually square it up. So only 1 person alive on each side at the end of that. And that definitely, just a few seconds longer, would have went the way of Alpha Boys.
Oh, Vox gonna be chased out. Stunned up immediately.
So we got to chase on. Meantime, Skywrath does die to the neutral. So charge for him, finish off the kill on Avenge. No neutrals involved in that one. As much as they try. And you know what the interesting part is? Statistically, Alpha Boys would not be the favorite here if we went on lower bracket performances so far, because Not Yet Dead had more kills in their lower bracket games than Alpha Boys. Because Alpha Boys didn't play their lower bracket game.
Yeah, I was like, right, am I missing something? And I didn't fucking play, dude.
You're like, oh,
yes, I mean,
serious stat? Oh, there it is.
These facts are definitely accurate.
100% proven and true.
All right. Well, our Bounty Hunter, you know, he's got the level 2. Something I think is already interesting is that Pecky definitely seems to be playing a bit more based around the invisibility. Right? And it also seems to prioritize just triggering the Ginada as often as possible, not so much stealing the creeps. Volix was all about trying to get these creep kills. And look at how aggressive the die is in terms of actually like trying to take away the creeps in the base. Like they even put down a ward up here. That's just a tad bit silly. That doesn't give any vision. That only shows them when somebody's trying to take this one specific camp and nothing else.
But they'll know.
They'll know.
They'll know. Oh, Warlock's being chased onto. Uh-oh. He made a mistake. He shouldn't have came back in.
I like the Abaddon as a pick to counter the Timbersaw.
Yeah, the silence is pretty damn good.
First, the silence. Secondly, the Aphotic Shield. You know, you can actually purge off the stats reduction from the Timbersaw, which is maybe gonna help. Like, I'm not sure how big of a deal that is, but it's something, right? And just all around, I feel like Abaddon is just a nice choice here. Even though he is a strength hero, so he takes a bit more damage, but Abaddon doesn't really care, right? Like, Abaddon's like, fine, whatever.
Yeah, you haven't got the super big dispel value that you would in some games, right? It's not like you're dealing with a hero with something like a Primal Roar, right? You've got these stuns, but they're not long-lasting. Sadly, Aphotic Shield will not save someone from an Ogre, because if he procs multiple times with the Fire Blast, you're going to get stunned.
Yeah, just restuns again. Alright. Pecky right here. Gonna be farming up. So this is another kind of like difference in playstyle here. You can see this bounty hunter seems to really value actually being a little bit more powerful in the early game. Vox was all about just getting out there and immediately fighting, immediately trying to get as much pressure on enemy heroes as possible. While Pecky seems to be more about, all right, you know what, I can take a moment to farm up, get some levels first,
and then murder people.
It was working pretty well.
Tempted to do so.
Look at that,
Terrorblade. That's an abort. He's trying for the kill. We'll get it onto the Terrorblade, but has to give his life afterwards. And no, they no, they didn't get it.
Big snipe from the Radiant there. I mean, that was 1,000 gold. All right, that put the Scarf Mage all the way up on the board. That's a lot of money. It's very much worthwhile.
He is now the thick boy when it comes to money for his team. Only one hero on his side above him. Charging from Billboard, trying to slow this down. They're gonna give a few hugs with the razors.
This seems to be a very common strategy. I don't know if it's like just in general that every team does this, or maybe it's just you know, like the teams we've been spectating. Alpha Boy seems to definitely like it though. They just run at the capture point in an attempt to stall and gain just that tiny edge that gives them. And they do sacrifice a bunch of hero kills for it though every time, which I'm not sure if that's necessarily worth it. Phantom Assassin in the meantime, gonna go ahead and start working on her Desolator. I wonder what the Shadow Fiend is building. Right, Shadow Fiend picking up great arcane boots. That's gonna allow him to farm a lot. It's gonna allow him to build up a lot of money. But yeah.
The big dollar bills. Going in with the razors. Gonna get Warlock's low. They need one more tap. Nice. There it is. Mystic Flare thrown out to ensure the kill. And to save the remnants of the stack.
Maybe just a tad bit of an overkill, but dead is dead.
Pecky, he's gonna go down. He is indeed dead now. Another charge through from Spirit Breaker. Trying to get some bashes out. The razors just overwhelm him along with that buffed up damage from the silence. Here's fall for more. Nero cannot run away quick enough from this.
Yeah, Laranal just charging him down.
Oh, they're gonna find another one. Warlocks. He's just stuck in the creeps. The creeps have betrayed them. Terrorblade stunned up as well. He will fall. They've evaded, and now they'll just farm it all.
Yeah, they just ran into like so many heroes and. Oh my god!
Oh, Warlocks. The damage is huge. Gonna get himself a triple kill right there. Chase the 4 for more. Looking at Laranal Net's gonna get him low. We'll get through the Timber Chain to get the kill. Now Wox is super low. Will fall as well. They make sure they do not give over these ancients. Although Panther will give over his life to those ancients.
Yeah. And that's actually really important though. I mean, they were close to losing the stack. And the thing about these ancients, that's something we've seen a lot in today's games, where the teams will try and snipe the enemy ancient camp very, very early in the game. And that's how you just kind of can snowball ahead, right? You get an early advantage just by playing well, get some kills, take the enemy ancient camp. And honestly, usually the ancient camp is like a way to bounce back when you didn't have a great early game, because it's just a lot of money and experience that stacks up over there. So the fact that the Dire side managed to secure that, that's a really big deal.
And they also punished the Skywrath for hanging around a little bit greedy still.
Nice.
The real question moving forward is going to be, can the PA do enough if the Timber keeps track like this? Because you don't have a break on your team. So he will remain a tanky boy. He will remain that thick boy we were talking about. Well, we weren't talking about him in that state, but
they are thick
he definitely
boys.
will be.
There are a lot of thick boys on the Dire side.
Oh, they're still fine.
There's also one very tall boy if you look at the Terrorblade.
Oh, yeah?
He just transformed back. But
do you like your boys tall?
He was a very tall boy for a second there.
Oh, they're coming out. Actually, Bounty Hunter super low. Will fall now. Going on one fifth. BKB activated, but doesn't make a difference. Nero going to be chased down onto as well. Foddish shield protects on the BA. Actually, control what we're doing after stun. He's going to collect on Vengeful Spirit. Will allow the Spirit Breaker to move away, but Ogre won't be so lucky. Spirit Breaker has to leave through the back exit. He's pretty deep. They know he's around here as well, but Shadow Fiend won't go pursuing. He has built into a Diffusal this game as well.
Oh, that's an interesting choice.
I mean, it's very good against the Bounty Hunter because he's got the movement speed, right? The other one, hilariously, that everyone always forgets is good against is the Spirit Breaker. Not just because he can't get close enough to bash you, but because his charge is affected by his movement speed now.
Oh, you can slow him. That's interesting. Didn't know you could slow him.
Okay, Bobby, I'm going to make your day. Go into a game that has a Spirit Breaker in it. Pick a Venomancer, gale him, and then laugh as you sluggishly walk away quicker than he charges you.
Oh, that's funny. But I have to play normal Dota for that, and that's just a sacrifice I'm not willing to make.
I mean, you could actually just play it in OAA.
Oh my god. All right, let's go. I just need somebody to pick Spirit Breaker. Let's do it.
Salty on it. I mean, yeah, it seems as a reasonable amount of people picking the hero, so...
Yeah, he's very strong.
Fun.
I'm gonna go into a duel here. We've got the Timber Saw, Spirit Breaker, Terrorblade, and...
this side one is definitely Ogre getting wrecked. Laronel's just gonna run him through. Meanwhile, in the main duel, high ground secured by Radiant. Now Morlock's gonna move in, gets down to half HP. And he has to protect here. PA, there's the swap coming out right now. BKB activated by the Shadow Fiend. Hasn't got the race leveled into, but the crits are too much. BK just goes down. Panther last man standing, but he can't fight against this. The Phantom Assassin just does too much damage.
You could really see the power of the Terrorblade, though. Like, I feel like right there it was very, very clear that while Terrorblade isn't strong enough to take these fights yet, he only has, like, one item, or had one item in that fight, and he was still able to just almost kill 2 heroes incredibly quickly.
But instead, they just keep killing you. They're going for more. They came straight back out, killed the TB again, and then they go through for an ultra kill for the SF as they just clean up the side of dying. I mean, yeah, TB has potential. You know, to be honest, my grandmother told me when I was 5 my singing had potential. You know, there's a difference between having potential and achieving it. I don't know if they're going to get the time they need to get Panther online.
And they are falling behind a little bit right now. It is important to keep in mind, though, that, you know, the Bounty Hunter has got his track now that will help a lot with the gold if they manage to secure some kills with it. And also, they are farming. Like, Panther is farming quite a bit. You've got Wallix. Sorry, not Vox. Wallix on the
dying.
Yeah, but he's still farming up. And they are growing. And I feel like this is somewhat to be expected. This is really the stage at which the Skywrath Mage is just kind of overwhelming. Right? He's so scary. And they just gotta make it past this point, figure out a way how to deal with the Skywrath Mage, and then they should be able to take these fights again. Or they're just dodging them, like they are doing now.
I mean, they have to. They've gotten a preview of what happens at this state of the game if they try and take these fights. At this stage, the damage is just overwhelming with the minus armor, with the control. This is the thing. We're not just talking about an SF that has those points into his presence of the Dark Lord. You're talking about a Vengeful Spirit with a Wave of Terror and a Silver Crest.
They have a ton of minus armor. It's actually insane.
And that's the other problem. Think about what Terrorblade is, right? His strength gain is pretty poor. In fact, one of the lowest at 1.5 per level. So he's reliant on his huge amounts of armor he has. They're just taking it all away. And now they're going to take Ogre away. Walks will go down in response. Panther getting pretty low. Needs to actually get the Sunder out, but it's already on cooldown. He won't be able to do it. And they're going to chase forward. There's the Chris coming through to get him again. They are just running down anything they can find.
That's not good.
Bloodhound.
That's definitely not good. Losing the boss like that is rough. You gotta be careful, and I feel like they maybe should have just stayed on that point. And they committed a lot into trying to chase them away. You know, they had the Spur Breaker charge off the point, and the points are capped quicker if you have more heroes on it. So, yeah, no. It's looking a little bit difficult for them. Oh, nice stun.
Yeah, good stun's coming out. There's a swap. Now Walt's going to jump in, looking for the kill. We'll be able to get it. Shadow Fiend's down. Now going to jump in. There's the crit, though, again. Ironically named Mr. Random for a reason.
Oh,
he lives up to expectations.
This is why people like that Phantom Assassin pick. You know, she just cuts through things very, very efficiently. Ton and tons of damage. And on top of that, you know, she has some neat abilities to go along with it. Just the ability to hide away on the minimap for a brief period of time is fantastic.
SF can be chased down here. The BKB activated. I'm not really sure why, though. They already had enough damage. Magic Missile coming out. The Atos as well. BKB triggered. Becky going to try and move away, but can't really do it quick enough. Has to stand a fight with Satanic activated. Hitting into Walks. Now we'll go Invis, trying to escape. This stun's going to come out. And Ogre is here to help. Gonna get him low. Atos procs onto 2 heroes. Will slow any sort of pursuit. There's a swap though. Drags Nero back. He's gonna pay for his heroic endeavors.
I'm not sure how used to Bounty Hunter Pack he is. Didn't use track in that last little encounter, which I feel like would have just made it significantly easier, no matter how you look at it. Alright, gives you movement speed, gives you some bonus damage while you're life stealing. But I don't know. Like, he's trying his best, I'm sure. It just doesn't seem to be the easiest game for Bounty Hunter. Nonetheless, he has a lot of net worth, right? He's got a lot of money going on. Right, of course, track and just constantly stealing the Jinada bounty is helping a lot with that. We've got the Terrorblade at level 22 now. He's also starting to look really nicely 6-slotted here, which is exactly what you're going for. And, yeah.
Fight gonna break out. Ectos coming out, but won't save Ogre's life. BKB activated. Shadowfiend needs to do the work. Here they'll be able to crit through. Bounty Hunter's already gone. Panther moving in, doing a lot of damage to Mr. Random here. Phantom Assassin needs to go in and fight right now, but the Thunder activated. It's enough to bring him down. Bilbo trying to run for the high hills, but Silence Up, he can't even use the charge. He can't even use the Never Strike. He cannot even defend himself. The A going to be turned around on right now. Now they're going to try and melt through it quick enough. Just to move away. This Phantom Strike to get her out alongside the swap will get her far away from the clutches of the dire side.
You know, this is what I brought up in the drafting stage, is that the Radiant side is very, very squishy. But, you know, what comes along with that is a lot of damage. They are such a huge DPS lineup. It's crazy. And they are absolutely utilizing that. And you can see that no matter what the Dire seems to try, they are just dying very, very, very quickly. And that's a problem, especially for a team that relies a lot on these tanky heroes that really want to be in a fight for a long time.
I mean, yep, they're definitely dying whatever they try. This Charger has murdered 3 of them so far.
Yeah, that's maybe not ideal too. I feel like they could perform a little bit better here.
There we go, a little bit of moo on moo action.
No! Oh no!
Toro, go for more. They'll finally kill him off, but my god, did he take a lot of people with him.
That's just unfortunate. Well, at least they got him, right? At least they got there. They do also have some other stuff coming up, though. You know, Spirit Breaker is working towards the big levels at 25. You get the additional greater bash chance, which makes a big difference. You know, you get a total of 42%. Even a Spirit Breaker, even with a slow base attack time, if you just build up enough attack speed, you'll actually be able to pretty reliably perma-stun people. And if you can manage to take the Phantom Assassin off the fight that way, that will go a long way. Now, admittedly, he kind of needs an MKB for that. And doesn't seem like he's going for it. Got an Aghanim's instead, which I find a little interesting.
You might pay a price for it.
Well, we'll see. In the meantime, they're going to go ahead and see if they can maybe take down an hour boss, which I think is absolutely the right play, you know. You are weaker than the Radiant right now. And if the Radiant lets you take bosses, you really, really should. And you should take as many of them as you possibly can.
Just feels like Alpha Boys are flipping a coin every time they walk into a boss fight. Who's gonna die, guys? Any volunteers? You stand in front of the enemy.
Well, Terrorblade now level 25, so we've got the additional Sunder cooldown. Oh, actually going for the attack range. Interesting.
A lot of this has become the standard in your regular games of Dota. It's just because that magic immunity element.
Oh yeah, I always
forget
forget
Sunder
about
less
that.
valuable.
Oh yeah, I always forget about that.
Speaking of magic immunity, BKB activated on Mr. Random. The swap did come in. Maybe a little bit too late. They didn't have to use the BKB, so 60 seconds where they don't want to fight. This is the other big thing. You look at it, and actually, Not Yet Dead are limited in what they can do with BKBs down. So they have to really play around these magic immunity charges. Without them, well, then you have to deal with the Timber. Then you have to deal with that potential Sunder, the stuns, all of it. BKB activated, though. Shadowfiend jumped on, and Wallex down to half HP already. There's some big crits. They want to go for a swap opportunity. That's a short-range swap on the Nero. Silenced up, though. He'll get stunned out beforehand, and now Panther go to work just in time for the duel.
No.
And Panther, he has the Metamorphosis activated. He'll have double Metamorphosis here. Going on Shadowfiend. Shadowfiend with the BKB activated. Has to fight against it. Swap to get him out. Walks. Says, no, you must live. Disarm's going to be there, though. TB, they can't get through him quick enough. And now they're in trouble. They're trying to life steal up, but so will he. The main fight in the meantime, the corners the Spirit Breaker. PA going to try and move across. Dagon gets rid of one, though. Lex is down. Bitball tries for his ultimate. Won't get the Never Strike out. Nero going to be chased onto next. It's a 3-on-1. All he can do is try and buy time, but he knows that death is an inevitable thing here, as he will go down. Back to the main fight. Here we go. Panther. He's going to actually be melted through. He can do anything to defend himself. Bilbo has to run for the tree line. Will get away, but Timbersaw won't be selected. Charge through is going to come in. Bulbul trying for the kill on SF, but can't get him. The heal's going to be there. Rampage for Skywrath. And not only dominating in the arena, they'll come outside and assert dominance in the main play area.
Yeah, we have seen a lot of physical damage today, right? But it is really just as viable to go for spell-based damage. And you can really see that here. It's a Skywrath mage, is absolutely overwhelming. You know, he does so much nuke damage with these arcane bolts hitting for hundreds of damage. He's got an E-Blade, even a Dagon on top of that, just stacking up intelligence, making sure that he hits harder and harder with every time he attacks something. Phantom Assassin, she is pretty damn powerful as well, but
it's just when you get casual kills like that.
Yeah, but
BKB was a little bit late from Warlock.
Most of that was actually Laranol, though. You gotta give him credit where credit is due.
I mean, that's what I mean. The BKB just wasn't there at all. Meanwhile, Ogre getting pretty low to the boss. They do manage to get rid of Lucius, and they didn't have to sacrifice the people anymore. This is a step forward. It's like watching civilization evolve.
They're getting there, and you can really see that the Dire side is really just trying their hardest to get these boss kills, catch up in course, try and somehow make the comeback. Because I think at this stage it's become pretty clear that their lineup just isn't as good as the Radiants.
They want to prove it. Ogre's going to go down. They're going to try and chase through for more. With the BKB activate, they secure Lucius. The Dire just has to give it over, and they know there's nothing they can do about it.
Rough. That's really, really rough. Yeah, but the Dire side, I feel like it's become pretty clear that their lineup just doesn't really work that well against the Radiants. The Radiants definitely won the draft. And they're squishy, squishy heroes. Well, it doesn't matter how squishy they are if you're dead. I can't kill them if they killed you.
True. And they're keeping them on the edge. Becky trying to move forward pretty low. Had the BKB activated Satanic as well to get full HP. They dodged them out pretty effectively. Skywrath stuck on the side is going to turn around. The magic damage just overwhelms and kills off the Bounty Hunter. Now, Kimber's going to try and chase him. Wants to try and get the kill, but the Atos comes out and silenced up. Now Charge Through is going to be there. Laranol going to be bashed back with a Never Strike. They charge through with Tim Chain. Now coming back around. Anti trying to move across. Got the Aphotic Shield to protect. The Mystic Flare comes out just in time. Spirit Breaker's going to go down. Laranol stay alive. Now the Refresher just to get another Aphotic Shield out and keep him alive. Skywrath running for the high hills. They're chasing, but Atos comes out. They bait him in. Bounty Hunter taking a lot of damage. Needs to move away. Warlock's trying to backstab from behind. But they will just sidestep him and move forward, chasing onto the Bounty Hunter right now. The scan's coming out, saying see him with this flare. Should be enough. Just about keep him alive. Guardian Greaves, clutch last moment with Warlocks. Now a little bit of trouble trying to move away. Will be able to do so. Gets out of the Atos, but gets pretty low. Barely surviving with his life. And Skywrath, he is just slapping it on the table, measuring up in all regards so far.
Yeah, for 18-5, that's a ridiculous score. Right, and it just keeps going, and soon he'll be level 25, right? I imagine we'll probably see the Mystic Flare damage. It's just gonna be absolutely insane. Alright, he's already overwhelming them so easily, and it's just gonna keep on going. He's got a Hex now. That's a huge pickup, honestly. That's just one of those items that will end the game. Because if one of those big carries, if you have the Terrorblade or the Timbersaw hexed out, it's not much that Dire can do from that point on.
Instead, the lead just builds, and I mean, just look at the rapid attack speed of the Abaddon, who we haven't actually got to see too much work from in terms of right clicks. It's just all been about these Aphotic Shields. And it's not even about the Shadow Fiend or the PA anymore. It's just keeping Skywrath alive. That's his job, and he's been doing it fantastically.
Yeah, that's all he needs to do. He just needs to keep them alive. He got a Refresher too, so double ultimate, double borrowed time is totally an option. And again,
Alex is like, please mercy, no, you get no mercy, no escape for the poor Timbersaw.
Oh, the creep sniped it.
Oh wait, it did as well. Oh, no. That was the arrow across from the. Oh,
the boss with like the one attack that it fired on the Timbersaw actually got the kill.
The teeny tiny arrow coming in and ruining what should have been your kill. That's why you don't annoy the bosses. Sometimes when you annoy them, they find a way to screw you over even when they can't kill you. They'll kill what you're trying to kill. 78-33 right now. And what was the bet? What's the next big pickup? There's no BKB on the Terrorblade, and that's concerning. That is incredibly concerning against the Skywrath.
That's for sure. The Skywrath Mage is just one of those things where I am I'm just worried about what the Dire side can do. Right? Like, what is there even? Because they can't really just buy BKB on everybody. And if they don't buy BKB on everybody, then Skywrath will just kill those that aren't BKB'd until those that are BKB'd are no longer BKB'd. The damage output is just so over the top. And while the Skywrath Mage isn't the best at killing the bosses, Phantom Assassin is. Especially if you've got that Shadow Fiend with the big-ass presence of the Dark Lord, just reducing all of the armor away. this is a rough one. I'm not entirely sure what Alpha Boys can do. But they're continuing on. They're still trying. You know, they've got themselves a Daedalus on that Terrorblade.
Yeah, they're starting to create a salad here by getting themselves the tomato. The question is, are they going to be the dressing? Larinor moving in right now is going to be hexed up, but now BKB activates Shadow Fiend. Thinks twice, moves away. Panther activates the Metamorphosis, and they got killing Tim Saw already. BKB on Bounty Hunter is going to protect him from the physical damage, though. The charge through might. PA controlled up by the Never Strike, and now can they do enough? Panther on the side, silenced up. He needs to survive this thing. Get Thunder up, but he can't. He just melts straight away. They burst through them so quickly, and they secure the point.
Yeah, I mean, that was just yet again another fight just like the previous ones where the Skyriff Mage just overwhelmed them, you know? And I feel like the Terrorblade not having a BKB is just questionable at best. You know, he's got a Manta style still. But he gotta tank up. Gotta find a way to not get burst down or disabled. And Terrorblade did get hexed and then disarmed in this fight.
Timber. He tried to delay it. I don't think that delayed it much, though. Larinor is a god amongst men right now.
And the thing is, we're talking so much about the Skyriff Mage. In the meantime, you've got the Phantom Assassin two-shotting things, and the Shadow Fiend just, you know, just casually
being
doing
the booster. He's
and
the
not even
catalyst
that
in this scenario.
It's not even just that he's a booster. He does thousands of damage himself. Look at his items. Like, this guy hits hard. By every possible measures, the Shadow Fiend could be a DPS in any given game, right? There are three perfectly, like, you know, we talked about this before, how usually you would have one major DPS hero on your team, right? But there are three major DPS heroes on the Radiant, and they are all doing DPS, and who do you shut down?
Yeah, ironically, the team without the Ogre is the one with many layers. Now, Larinor just poking his head out a little bit on the high ground right here. Nice. Can't afford to lose a fight here. BKB activate, Shadow Fiend going in. There's the Mystic Flare through. TB is already gone. Gonna chase on the Warlocks next. He's going super deep. Shadow Fiend wants it. Nero, oh my god! 6,000 damage. Where did he go?
That's exactly what I'm talking about, you know. Those 6,000 damage crits, those are the problem, right? It's not just that there's Larinor running around. It's that there's also the Phantom Assassin. Mr. Random hitting for casual 6k. Making people vanish.
Now they have to go into a duel. It's not a good feeling right now. SF and Abaddon on the side. Oh my god, against the TB and the Ogre. That's rough. And then the PA in the center battle waiting to just pounce on anyone they can find. They're jumping in though. Shadow Fiend does get to come to Ogre because his life. And now hexed up. Anti has to walk away. Panther should win that. But in the main battle, in the meantime, looks like Warlocks has to activate the BKB in time, but it won't be in time for the Bounty Hunter. He goes down. Now the crit's going to come out. Bilbo does get killed. Warlocks trying to run for the high hills. Will blink away. Jump straight in. Looking for a kill on the walks. He wants someone in return, but he won't be able to find it. Instead, they find him. And that is 100 points, guys. Ding, ding, ding. One kill is all they want, and they might find it. Silence comes out, but nice blink away by Timber. They are just corrals him into a corner, though.
Oh, we're going to need a comeback for the ages right here.
Mm-hmm. They go, jump in. Warlocks going pretty deep, but no, he's gone! What was that move? Instead, they're going to go to work on the Shadow Fiend. They will be to get rid of time. BKB's activated. Mr. Random trying to move into him. Panda. There it is. He found the right one. Disarmed as well. Thunder's going to come out. It's not good enough, though. He's just going to keep hitting him. The Disarm's going to run out, and PA gets rid of him. Now it's just a clean-up crew job for him as his Phantom Assassin becomes unstoppable.
Incredible. I mean, that was just beautifully done. All right. Well, and with that, Not Yet Dead defeats Alpha Boys and moves on to the grand finals, which is gonna be pretty fucking sick. I mean, that was a dire victory, apparently. Do you get that too? And an announcer just kind of like starts spamming dire victory?
Yeah. I was more distracted by the wonderful kind of synchronicity of profile pictures on...
Yeah, they all have the weird profile
and
picture.
Then the person who just evaporated everyone in the final fight just has a different profile picture. It's like, yeah.
Man, that Phantom Assassin though, like the damage output is just absolutely real. Although I think you could very clearly tell when the Shadow Fiend was there and when he wasn't. Right in that last duel, they killed Shadow Fiend pretty early, and then Phantom Assassin, she still did a lot of damage, but she wasn't just like one-shotting people anymore. All right, well, with that, we're gonna conclude the second part of the tournament, which has been a little bit, but we're now about to go into the finals, and that's where it gets real fun.